Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the drone drama continues. Where are the drones coming from? Are they coming from outer space, underneath the ocean? But, you know, Little Mermaid, where the drones coming from? Oh, it's no mothership, but it just happened to be in the water and we can't follow them back. And the military we give $1 trillion to every year knows nothing. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the mainstream media has died. The mainstream media has died. They have just not had the funeral yet. We'll talk about how they died and why they died a little bit more a little bit later. Also, speaking of the media, Trump has been named Time Person of the Year again. Well deserved. I mean, how many guys can dodge a speeding bullet and not get named Time Person of the Year? He deserves it. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, San Diego now self-identifies as a super sanctuary. So if you are an illegal alien alleged of committing a crime, maybe even convicted, and it was something like trafficking, kidnapping, some kind of crime against a minor or something like this, they'll protect you. Now, why would you want to spend money and so-called quote-unquote county resources on protecting not only illegal aliens, but criminal illegal aliens? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, so shout out to you guys who are coming in here from the Twins Pod with Hodge Twins. That was a fun time out there in Vegas. Yeah, really, really good. Got to do it again. If y'all hear me out there, Hodge Twins, we got to do it again. Really had a good time. They're funny guys, very funny guys. And it was funny seeing them share the chapstick, the Burt's Bees. All like, yo, what are y'all doing? But yeah, good time on the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have not seen the podcast, go to my community section here on YouTube, and I put it right there. Put the whole thing right there. You can also see it. I put it on my Twitter. I think there's also some clips on Instagram that they've been releasing. So whenever they put out clips, they'll tag me in it, and it'll be on my page as well. So you can find the podcast easily, but probably the easiest way would be to go to their YouTube page, Twins Pod. Twins Pod, that's what it is. Simple as that. The word twins and the word pod, all as one. You'll be able to find me on the most recent episode. All righty? So, Rock Pollution says, they don't ever get the keys to that guy. Yeah, so, hey, if you don't get that one, you got to check it out. Now, Jamie says, ABL, give everybody an update on Randy Moss. He was in paper this morning. So Randy Moss had liver cancer, and I think that he beat it. So he had some kind of surgery, and he was able to beat the cancer. All right, so he announced that he is cancer-free. That's what I have read. All right. Although I'm not seeing that. Yeah, he says, your boy's a cancer survivor. Randy Moss reveals cancer diagnosis. So he had liver cancer. Let me see. He been in the hospital since Charlotte, et cetera, et cetera. So he's going to have to, okay, well, maybe he's not all the way cancer-free yet. He says he has to undergo chemotherapy and radiation. So he had surgery and has got to do chemo and radiation. So I thought he might have been out of the woods, but maybe not so much. So again, Randy Moss, y'all know, NFL Hall of Fame football player. He said that he is battling liver cancer. All right. And no, that's not who I saw in the airport. If I saw Randy, then y'all would know because my whole family would know and they probably would tell. But no, I didn't see Randy in the airport when I went to Vegas. I saw another person who had been in the Hall of Fame for a very long time. So yeah, shout out to Randy. Hey, we love you from Rand. You got to hang in there, man. You the hometown hero. Listen, when Randy Moss got drafted, you got to understand, coming from a small town, Rand, West Virginia, when he got drafted in 1998, I'll never forget it. My entire family, both sides of my family, everybody, hundreds of people it was like somebody became the president. It was like Barack Obama. It was like that. It was crazy. It was totally nuts. So hopefully Randy will be okay. All righty. But shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here. Again, if you did not see the Hot Twins podcast, check it out on the community section. It'll be right there. Easy for you to be able to check it out and watch on your own time. About an hour and 45, almost 2 hours. All righty. Now, somebody says he had a 6-hour long surgery, long time. You can't survive liver cancer. Well, I'm not a doctor. I don't know nothing about that. So that's you saying that I don't know. You know, I don't really know nothing about that. But all we could do is just hope for the best, right? That's all we can do. All righty. But we got a whole lot going on. We got the drone situation still happening. There's so much going on. The drones, I mean, listen, I just want to say something about this whole drone drama, because how much money do we give to the military, to NASA, to agencies that should be able to do with this? All right, you got these objects in the sky. Can you shoot them down? If you cannot shoot them down, then you got to tell us why. If you can shoot it down, then you should be able to reverse engineer it, or to at least maybe identify it. Now, if you can't shoot it down, you can't reverse engineer it, you can't, then that sends a signal that you're not really in control. You don't know what's going on. So if you don't know what's happening, then who does know what's happening? If the United States government does not know what's happening with the drones in New Jersey and all over the country, then that means one or two things. The first thing is that another country or countries know more than we do, which is a problem, because if they know more than we do and they are our adversaries and they're putting things in our skies, we got a problem. But the second thing is that we're talking about aliens. Now, I think it's aliens with the FAA lights and whatnot on there. I don't think so. I think if it was aliens, it wouldn't be so earthly looking. These drones look like things that we can make right here. If it was aliens, they probably came from a long way away, so it wouldn't be so rudimentary in nature. But maybe I'm just thinking a little bit too simplistic. I don't know, but y'all let me know. Either way it goes, if we spend so much money on the military, so much on defense, then we should have some intel as to what these things are in the sky. I'm having a hard time being able to figure out why we don't. I think that we're being lied to. And the question is, why lie? If you want to conduct tests, why do above an open urban area? Why not do that out somewhere in the desert where ain't nobody at? Why would you do it right in the center of civilization? It doesn't make any sense. So now let me see. There are American ISR drones looking for nukes. Let me see. Hey, yeah, the airspace ain't protected, and they went to, like, they hovered over a military base. Now, as far as I know, we're talking about military bases. If you get within 500 foot of a base, you could just shoot it off rip, like a fishing boat in the water. You can shoot it. But these drones went above the base, like basically into the base's perimeter, nothing happened. So if it is a foreign adversary and they went over a military base, why weren't they shot down immediately? If it's the United States and that's what we're doing, we're just testing things out, maybe trying to scare the public, then I will understand why they wouldn't shoot it down. They ain't gonna shoot down their own thing, or they probably don't want to shoot it down. They're probably very expensive. I don't know. We got a lot to really talk about, and that whole thing with the drones. Hey man, they gotta tighten up. They gotta figure it out. And you know what? Here's something else. John Wyatt says, okay, they want to find dirty bombs. Is that what it is? So maybe there's a threat of some violence come Inauguration Day, and they're trying to find some things, and they want to act like, oh, we don't know what it is. It could be from Iran. They could be aliens. It could be something else. Oh, they're not really a threat. Don't worry about it. It's all good. They want to say that to hide what they're trying to do. Either way it goes, somebody's lying. There's some deception going on. 100%. John Kirby, listen, John Kirby, we got to get this guy out of there, man. Okay. This dude, hold on. His faces that he makes are not very reassuring. This is the guy that we're supposed to look to in times of trouble. Okay. When we get national security concerns and things of this nature. Now, I'm not trying to attack that guy for his looks. I'm trying to say his face does not really exude confidence. I see his face talking at me. I'm like, man, we are doomed. Whatever is going on, it is over. It's not going to work. That's the vibe I get from looking in his face. Look at this guy, scared to death. That's not who I want to be in the Pentagon. I want some of these, Tom Homan, square jaw looking. I want one of those guys in there to exude confidence, to reassure the nation. That is not a very reassuring face. That is a face of, I am scared. Please come save me. I can't help you. The world is over. That's kind of what's going on there. Again, I ain't trying to make fun of his looks. It's not even about that. It's about his facial expressions. It's about a lack of confidence. And that's not who you want in the Pentagon talking at you. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. Shout out to you guys again for being here. Sponsors, let's get those out of the way. Then we're going to get to a lot of videos. I got a lot of stuff we got to see. There's a whole lot going on. And I think one thing I've been noticing is a trend in the more conservative direction overall in the country. Because you got so many of these weirdos out here just doing the craziest things that don't make any sense. We're going so far left, we're going off the cliff. If the cliff is right here, the left is right on top of it. The left is like teetering on the edge. And people see it, so you're like, you know what? I'm not going to go be with the lemmings going off of the edge of the cliff. I might kind of go back to the right. That's what's happening right now in the country. People are going back to the right to not go over the cliff. So, and I'm seeing that from the young people my age, people older than me, everybody's trying to go the other direction, which is a good sign. It's a great sign. All right. But shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will always be in the box, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each video that I produce, I write an article. And in each article, you got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democrat, Republican, politically agnostic, from the local, national, international. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. And as I always say, if you ever wonder how to communicate with me, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you can find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box. You can find my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. TikTok is all right there on the contact page of the website. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on these interwebs or not, just cross-reference the method of communication. My email is very easy. It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you can't remember, just go to the website. It's right there in the box. Click the link, go to the contact page. Everything you need is right there. If you are talking to somebody that has some random crazy email, okay, I scam you at 5 a.m. while eating Hot Pockets at Outlook.com, that's not me, okay? I weigh 100 million pounds and I live in Kiev, Ukraine at gmail.com, it's not me. So please, please, please don't get scammed by one of my distant cousins over there in West Africa, and don't get scammed by one of these Eastern European, Ivan Drago, Vladimir Klitschko looking people. Okay, don't get scammed by these individuals. Don't nobody got no time for that. All righty. Now, we got a whole lot going on. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm getting quite a few tips here already in the comments. Okay. A bunch of weird comments. I can see new people because we're getting into some LGBT stuff. And I mean, some freaky comments like, y'all got to take a cold shower, get an ice bath, go to Norway and just hop in the water. Okay. Do something like that, man. Get it together. All right. So let's go to the first clip I have. This is going to be Jill Biden in the White House trying to say Merry Christmas in a different way than what you should say it, but she gets corrected. All righty. Let's check it out. And you got the sound and everything good. Let's make sure.
Hello.
All right, let's try to get the video up. There we go.
Hello. How are you? Hi. Happy holidays. Hi. Happy Christmas. Yes.
Great.
Hello. How are you? Hi. Happy holidays. Hi. Happy Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, we're not doing happy holidays. Merry Christmas. That's what we're going to do. Merry Christmas. Shout out to the kids for getting raised right. The kids corrected the lady right there on stage, Jill Biden. So shout out to her. Well, shout out to the kids in the crowd for correcting her. That's how you go about it. Merry Christmas, not happy holidays. You got Christmas trees in the background talking about happy holidays. Like, make that make sense. But anyway, now I played this before of people going to Canada because Trump won, but I think there's more to the clip.
Goodbye, Donald Trump. We're finally moving to Canada.
Oh, hey, you guys are actually doing it this time. Sick. Well, welcome to Canada, where the average house takes 3 times as long to afford versus America, where the unemployment rate is 50% higher than America's, where you can't legally own a handgun, but where you can legally get an abortion, that is if you can deal with the 6 months it takes to see a doctor, where we're probably gonna end up electing a conservative to run our country anyways in the next year, and where we somehow got conned into paying a carbon tax even though our trees absorb 110% of our carbon emissions on average every single year. Yeah, but hey, at least we've got Tim Hortons, poutine, and way less Florida.
There we go. So, hey, to you guys who want to go to Canada, I say go for it. Listen, I'm not here to stop anyone from conquering their goals and achieving their dreams. You want to go to Canada, you want to go to the great white north, then go ahead. Knock yourself out. But check it out. Once you get up there, it's not going to be all sunshines, rainbows. Matter of fact, ain't going to be too much sunshine. It's going to be a whole lot of snow. You're going to be chest deep in snow in October. You are not going to be able to own a gun. You are going to pay a lot of money in taxes. You will pay a lot of money for regular goods and services. Canada, shout out to the Canadians. Shout out to y'all watching. But I don't think Canada is better than the USA. I don't think anywhere is better than the USA. Now, whenever I say that, it's a bunch of Americans that get mad at me. I'm like, all right, Americans, if you're so mad at me for saying that America's not the best place, then why are you here? Where would you rather go than the United States? You want to go to Canada? You want to go to UK? Now, listen. Shout out to the Canadians. Shout out to my people out there in UK. But you know what? One thing I don't like is cold weather. I don't like snow getting on my hat or nothing like that. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like not being able to own a gun. I don't like rampant open borders like UK had or has. Either one. I don't like it. I'm good. So, hey, if you want to go there, then go ahead, though. Go ahead. You can knock yourself out. And shout out to the UK and Canada people in the chat. I don't want to just dump them upon you, okay? I would rather these people who don't want to be in the United States go to Gitmo and make big rocks to little. But I got to be diplomatic. I can't just send them to prison, so they got to go somewhere. Now, I'll tell you what, they don't want to go to a less developed nation. They want to go to a Western place. They want to go to Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK, France, Germany, somewhere like that. And Germany, you might find yourself living a little bit less high on the hog as we do here in the States. Do you know that Black American income is comparable to all Germans' income on the per capita level? Did you know that? Fun fact. So, hey, when you go over there, just know that it's not going to be the United States. When they Rome, do as the Romans. That's what I say. Oh, they don't want to go to Africa. No, they don't want to go there. They always want to go to a white place. They don't want to go. They don't want to go to Africa. They don't want to do that. They'll say that America sucks and then go to another Western European, Eastern European, Western European or just Western country in general is what they do. Sri Lanka, nah, they don't want to do that. Shout out to Sri Lanka, though. Shout out to India. But they're not really built for that. That's not really their thing. All right. Let me see. Chris Vegan says, China sent a balloon across America. We did nothing. Drones flying all over the place. We did nothing. Exactly. I want to know, okay, so Kirby said, well, we can't shoot it down because it's heavy and it might fall on top of us. What? Man, we put all kind of junk in the sky, satellites and everything else that falls. Listen, and that's not even a good excuse, even if it was to be a concern. Oh, it might fall on somebody's house if you shoot it down from the sky. Okay, well, when they're over the water, you can't shoot it down there. I mean, we did that with the spy balloon, didn't we? But the drones are emanating from off the coast, from water where there's no land at. So there's nobody's house to fall on out there. And you can shoot it down over the water and recover it. Same way we did with the spy balloon. If we shot that down over the water, why not do that with the drones? All right. And my thing is, how do you know it's a threat if you don't know anything about it? Okay, it's not a threat. It's not from Iran. It's not from the US, but we don't know where it's from. How can you say all that, but then at the same time say we don't know? I don't know. But I do know this. What? These people, man. Now, when I complain about what's happening in this country, don't get that confused with me hating this country. I'm talking about our government. The people, the country is good, except for people that smoke crack for a living and some people in the government. That's the issue. But the beauty of this country is that we have the power to vote and get people out of office that should not be there. That's the beauty of this country. We're not like some other places where whoever you got is whoever you got, and you can't do too much about it. All right. So look, a little bit of real estate, a little bit of landlord stuff. Shout out to all the landlords out there. I know you guys are going through it if you're a landlord, especially during COVID time where you couldn't evict anybody. I couldn't imagine being a landlord, collecting rent on the house, and all of a sudden one day they stop paying and I can't evict them, but I still gotta maintain the property, because if you have a tenant who's not paying rent under the eviction moratorium, you still gotta keep up the property. You still gotta keep it up. You can't kick them out. You can't do anything. All that you really can do is put them on month to month or sell the property completely. You can't just kick them out if they're not paying rent, or at that time you couldn't do it. And even now, you still got to file. You still got to go down to the courthouse and get a formal eviction started. Now, this person is upset because the landlord was kicking them out on a month-to-month lease because she wanted to rent it to somebody else. So who do you think is wrong, the landlord or the tenant?
Information. My house I live in there was sold. So you can take a look.
Is this for me?
Yeah, I give you some information. You can just take a look, okay?
Okay. Honestly, I don't think this is my problem. Like, when I called residential tenancy, they said that that's not my problem. So.
Yeah, I know. But I just let you know. After that, I cannot. I have no place to live, so I really stressed out. I'm begging you, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Are we done here?
Yeah, I just give you some information. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so frustrated, After that, I have no place to live and I become homeless.
Oh yeah. There's how many bedrooms are upstairs?
Oh, how many is not? How many bedroom? Oh, they have some people live there.
Oh, really? Because upstairs is, you have like a whole upstairs and then you have a suite next door, right?
Oh, they have some people living.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, like people talk about getting into real estate, but for me, I would not be a landlord because I don't want to, I don't want to have to do with anything like this. I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm good. I'd rather would just buy properties, invest, flip, sell. I don't want to have to do with no tenants, landlord situation, have to kick anybody out, any kind of drama. I'm good. But what do y'all think? Do you think it's okay to evict somebody who's on a month-to-month lease to rent it to somebody else? Once you give them notice, like 30 days, 90 days? How does that really work? Can you just say one day, okay, you're on a month-to-month, and on next month, you got to leave. How does that really work? Slumlord? Nah, I mean, a slumlord, I don't think that is a definition of a slumlord. Slumlord is when they don't make repairs. Maybe that was your reference. Brooklyn says, I do property management. It's tough. Yeah, man. Hey, salute to you. Hey, if I was to get into real estate, I would hire somebody like you to do the property management. Hey, I pay whatever kind of money you need. Hey, you take care of the tenants and do with all that kind of extra stuff. Okay, you could be in their face, talking at them, arguing. I'm good. I am good on that. And the rent will go up. It sure will. Let me see. Desperado Dave says, evict, especially women and children, they have government subsidizing their rent and still won't pay. Well, you know what? That's something else, because I remember the Section 8 housing that I was hearing about way back in the day. The rent would be like $50 and people still couldn't pay it. I mean, you can't just live however you want to live forever. Yeah, give proper notice and then you'll be good. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. And shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. Let's keep on rocking. Now, this right here, the rent is apparently $31.90 a month, $3,190 US a month for this place. Okay, check it out. Check it out. Here we go.
This has to be the strangest apartment in Manhattan, and wait till you see what is up with this unit. So now coming in, we are in the kitchen, and that's the bedroom. Now we're in the Upper East Side, and here is the shower, which, yes, it is literally in the middle of the kitchen. Very interesting setup. So yeah, the shower is basically inside of the kitchen, and if you think that the weirdness is over, it's not. So let me show you the bedroom, which is behind my phone right here. So this is the bedroom, and if you think that's a closet, you would be very wrong. So let's see what's behind this thing right here. We have the elevated toilet. So yeah, we have a toilet in what's supposed to be a closet, and we have the shower in the kitchen. There is one more thing to check out in this apartment, and that's the living room. So here it is. This is actually a very large living space. Tough to do it justice on video, but the total rent price for this very interesting apartment is $3,190 a month.
Now, would you pay that, or would it depend on where it is? I'm not really sure where the location is. It's New York. It's New York City. It's in Manhattan. But I'm not really sure if where it is in Manhattan matters. I'll tell you what, is that a good price for an apartment, or is it a bad price? Also, do we have any hidden little friends in there? I'm not trying to see I'm not trying to see a four-legged friend pop out from the wall. I don't want to see that. Okay. I don't want to see Tom and Jerry running around my kitchen at night or in the shower when I'm trying to be in the shower. They come from the kitchen. The kitchenette area. I don't want that to happen. That's one thing about New York. People love New York. I guess it's cool, but living there, listen, I'm not trying to have no water bugs or whatever y'all want to call them, roaches, flying at my head at night. I'm not trying to have them rats. I've seen them rats. They about big as a little a pet cat. Like Heathcliff, Garfield, they're big as a pet cat. I haven't seen stray cats smaller than New York City rats. I'm good. And they be in your apartment or like outside, walking across your foot. You got sandals on. Here come Heathcliff and Tom and Jerry all over your feet. I'm good. But hey, if y'all like it, go ahead. I love it. But y'all, hey, I will let y'all enjoy the experience. I will let y'all enjoy the experience. We'll talk about New York a little bit later, of course. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Alrighty. Yeah, flying roaches, typical New York City stuff. Yeah, hey, the four-legged friends ain't paying no rent. They ain't paying no rent regardless. Okay, you got rent control, rent raises, month to month, year leases. They're not going to pay no rent. They come and go as they please. Okay, at least when I was in Virginia, when I was working at the Old Country Buffet, we had roaches in there, and they would come out at night after all the guests were gone. They had decency to come out at night, like, hey, everybody gone, okay, we cool. We're going to take over from now. Y'all about to leave, about to close. We're going to take over the night shift. But in New York City, they just be out there and you be in a restaurant, middle of Manhattan, and then right on the wall, you got a big cicada or water bug, whatever you want to call it, right on the wall. I'm good. Now, teachers, shout out to the good teachers out there in this country who really want to help their students, who really want to breathe life into the students. But I think the whole wave of LGBT and wokeness has brought in a class of teachers who are not prepared to do the job. Okay, men and women alike. Now look, this person right here was put on leave after an argument about a pride flag. Now, off rip, you could tell something's wrong. A choker on this woman who got to be like my age or a little bit younger. I mean, that's a red flag right there. If you go in your kid's class, your kid's in third grade and the teacher looking like that, I would like, yo, you know what? Okay, let's take little Johnny out of Miss Appleton's class. Okay, because I'm not comfortable with what's going on. Now, I'm not trying to judge this lady for being LGBT or a transformer, but I can tell that something ain't right. Off rip. Let's watch.
Hello, if you are a student of mine wondering where I am, I have been placed on administrative leave. I did something brave to try to make our school district a better place than it already is, even though it's pretty awesome. And sometimes, you know, progress takes one person to maybe have a little more issues that, while I'm probably not allowed to say anything to keep my job, but I'm fine. I'm gonna go take a nap. You're gonna be fine too, and our school district will be a better place when I come back.
I mean, look, the elevator on, but it don't go to the top floor. The elevator works, but it's not going to the top floor. You have a forest, but you got a few trees short. You had a forest fire, deforestation. You got a logging industry in your forest. The forest is not complete. Okay. You don't have all your marbles. And that's the thing. That's the problem. A lot of mental health issues in teachers in school. So how are they going to teach your kids effectively if they're battling their own mental health issues? I know anybody perfect, but like, what are we doing? That person cannot be teaching your kids because they're not really wrapped too tight. It's simple. Yeah, she can't finish a sentence. And you know what? One thing I want to blame for people acting like that is the drugs, because I wonder how many medications that she is on. We're way over medicated in this country. Okay, you go to a doctor. Hey, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. I have a new job coming up. I have this kind of thing coming up. I got to practice for this. I got to really get in shape for that. I'm nervous. Oh, you have general anxiety disorder. Here's some Lexapro or some Ativan or whatever they want to give you. Take that. And then when you act up and crash out, they're like, hey, what happened? We don't know. There was no signs. We didn't know anything. Well, maybe it was the mood altering drugs you put them on. Maybe that did it. Maybe when they're in the class at 35 years old with a choker on, that might have been a sign like, hey, you know what? Something ain't right with that person. We should kind of, get a little bit of therapy going on to figure out what's happening. But they don't. Anyway, I digress. Now, speaking about not being wrapped too tight. So women were kicked out of the Women's Republican Club by a biological male member. Shout out to my main man, Right Wing Angel, Oliver Mack, for posting this clip. I read it one more time. Women kicked out of, quote unquote, Women's Republican Club by a biological male member. Let's check.
I've watched you do that. I've watched you touch women. We need to go find the manager. I've watched you do it.
On the bylaws and organization as it stands. And so it does not require...
But to change bylaws, you have to have a vote and a recording of the minutes.
Ma'am, nobody changed the bylaws.
Look, can I say something right quick? Can I say something? Hold on. Let's get a good look at my man right here. Let's get a good look at him. Now, whenever I see in real life, just walking around in real life, whenever I'm outside somewhere, in real life, whenever I see a transformer, they look just like that. Okay, you looking like Chris Farley plus Linda Carvey combined. Okay, with a Miss Doubtfire dress on. It'd be an older white guy, 65-year-old white male. That's like the average age of the transformers I see in the wild. Okay, like your Bruce Jenders, whatnot. That's the kind of people I see all the time. And my question is, what's going on with this group of men specifically in this age group that's making that kind of thing happen? Okay, I see transformers of all different races. I'm not trying to say it's only white guys, but when I see them out in the wild, it look just like that. 100% just like that. A ridiculous dress and voice combination, looking masculine, looking like a plumber, Bob the Builder. That's who I see. And the question is why? Is there a reason for that?
A certain outcome that is not going to happen today. So with that...
Yeah, Peter Griffin all day long. Peter, it's Peter dressed as Meg.
There we are. Take us to court. I'm prepared for this.
Who's us?
The women's...
Are you a woman?
Club of...
Are you a woman? Are you a woman and a part of this club? Whoa, wait a minute. Yes, it does. Who are we taking to court? If we're taking to court women. And are you part of the club?
So this guy is trying to kick the women out of the club, but it's a women's club. It's like, okay, if you want to kick us out, then how about you? How are you in the club but you're not being kicked out when you're not even a woman? Like, make that make sense. Wouldn't that be a qualification to become part of the Women's Republican Club, to be a woman? So how are you going to tell us we can't be here, man? Look, the world has gone completely crazy. The world has gone crazy. This right here would have been a skit on SNL. This would have been an SNL skit, and you would have had Chris Farley putting a dress on, clowning. That would have been that. But now this is reality. This is real life right here. And again, whenever I see the Transformers in real life, look, another airport story. I'm at the airport and I'm seeing, I literally saw that kind of person in the TSA line. This dude's my height. I'm 6'3". This dude's my height. White guy looking like Bill Nye the Science Guy. He had a ridiculous looking dress on. I'm talking about something from Final Fantasy. He looking like a whole female NPC. It's like, sir, you are 75 years old. Why are you trying to look like a non-playable character in the video game? I'm talking about polka dots, puffy, a tutu. I'm like, man, nah. What in the world's happening to the men of this nation? Also, some of the young folks, shout out to the young people out there that got their heads on right, that are not crazy, that are not ridiculous, but some people are. Now, here's a concert in which they're praising the United Healthcare shooter. What's his name? Luigi Mangione. Check it out. All right, I'm turning the music down, but you get the idea. So they're having the concert. It's a DJ set, and then they're playing pictures of the guy in the background celebrating. Hey, parents, what's going on with your kids? Why would you be celebrating a guy like Italian guys? Look, Nicholas Coppola, Tony Soprano, whatever, Luigi Mangione. Why are they celebrating this guy? You killed this man who was an innocent man. They want to take out their frustrations of, their frustration really is with capitalism. These are communist people. They want to take that frustration out on to innocent people that just work for a living. Because if you think that the CEO of United Healthcare is the reason why you got denied, man, I got a bridge in Brooklyn. I got a lake in Michigan and Arizona to tell you if you believe that. It goes much deeper than the executive. The executive has a job the same as everybody else. And this is why that lady got arrested for threatening people on the phone. You think the person on the phone taking your claim and denying you right there is the reason why you got denied? It doesn't make any sense. All right. And then you see them to have these signs on the polls and whatnot. Free Luigi. It says, do not defend the polls, eat the CEOs. It's just young people that don't know anything, and also other ignorant people. Look, eat the CEOs. See, and the thing is, as I said before, people who say stuff like that and really believe in it think that they are the ones who should lead rather than those who are actually leading, those who are actually in power. But if and when they become the ones in power, they'll be the ones who are eating next. Because they want everybody to be on the same level playing field of being poor, not having any kind of resources or whatever. So if you become affluent, if you become rich, if you become successful, you'll be the next person to be eaten. That's how that whole thing works, right? That is how that whole thing works. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. So now we getting this guy, I think is Enron's new C. Matter of fact, I'm not quite sure. Hold on. They said this is Enron's new CEO getting hit with a pie.
Connor! Everyone's back! Connor! Oh my God! Oh my fucking God!
Okay, so he got hit in the face with a pie. Now, see, now we're just starting to advocate violence. Now, the whole pie thing is not serious, but it is serious because what it does is show that they're willing to attack you in public. It'll start with a pie, and then it'll go to something else. That's why they're praising Luigi Mangione, because he went to the next level. That's where they want to go. And here's my man, George Santos. George Santos, he obviously was a Republican congressman, and he got caught stealing money, I guess, from the campaign.
How do you like that? This guy's got audacity to show his face. Hey, George Santos, eh?
Oh,
hey?
what's up?
How do you like that?
How do you like that, George? Yeah. Enjoy, man. Enjoy, George.
You're unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
And the thing is, it's like, okay, you dump stuff on them. You dumped your little Starbucks drink on them. You know, and you know, what's going to happen is you'll find the wrong person to do that to, and then you might get folded up like a sheet of paper and your book bag origami. You're going to get folded a million different ways. They know who to do that to and who they don't know. They know who and who not to do that to. But they may make a mistake one day and do it to the wrong person, and they're going to take a permanent nap. So the moral of the story is you may have frustrations with a company. You may be upset with the economy and the way things are going, but keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself because you might get hands put on you. Now, here we go. This kind of rhetoric from AOC is part of the reason why there's issues like this going on.
You know, taken from a diagnosis. And I think that this collective American experience, which is so twisted to have in the wealthiest nation in the world, all of that pain that people have experienced is being concentrated on this event. And it's really important that we take a step back. This is not to comment, and this is not to say that an act of violence is justified. But I think for anyone who is confused or shocked or appalled, they need to understand that people interpret and feel and experience denied claims as an act of violence against them. People go homeless over the financial devastation.
But look though, here's my thing. Do you think the insurance companies must cover everything that happens to you? Is that what that is? And you know the whole thing with if you got a pre-existing condition, okay, you already got terminal cancer, and then at that point you want to get insurance. For what though? Is the purpose of insurance to insure you in case of something happening, or do you buy it to subsidize your health care? Which one is it? I'm having a hard time being able to figure out what insurance actually is.
Of a diagnosis that doesn't get addressed, or, you know, the amount that they're going to have to cover with a surprise bill and things like that. And when we kind of talk about how systems are violent in this country, in this passive way, our privatized healthcare system is like that for a huge amount of Americans. I mean, I did not have health insurance until I got elected to Congress. I was running. When I first ran for Congress, I had to sit in a free clinic while waiting.
Okay, so you sat in a free clinic, so you're able to get some free healthcare. But you want to get that extra good quality, the extra next level for free. But what people like that don't understand is you can't get something for nothing. That's that commie talk. Plus, where you have universal health care is not necessarily the best. You go to Canada, they got that, but you're going to wait 6 months and you're going to pay a lot more in taxes. There's no free ride in America, but I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself from previous years because we're dealing with young people, new people who don't know anything about how communism works because they've not been really taught that in school. What they've been taught in school is that it's a good thing. Communism is a good thing, and we should want to help everybody. We should want to do things for the collective, for all the folks and people of color and all that. They believe in that. So they don't even understand that what they're advocating for does not work in actual practice. It's been done before, it's been tried before, and it didn't work. But they're gonna say, oh, you didn't do it right. You got to do it better. We got a better way to actually do this. Maybe you don't actually. Maybe you don't have a better way to do it. Maybe communism never works because it's a policy that cannot work. Just maybe. All right, so check it out. Now, here's the Florida woman who got arrested for threatening the employees of Blue Cross Blue Shield because she was on the phone. She gets irritated about a denied claim, and she threatened them. Check it out. And you guys let me know, do you think that something should have been done about this threat or just let it go? Hey, you know what? somebody threatens, indirectly, directly, whatever, to shoot up healthcare employees right after an executive of a healthcare company gets deleted in Manhattan, middle of the street, 6 a.m., and it's not really a threat, you don't take it seriously. Now, what if the person makes the threat, nothing is done, oh, she's just blowing off steam, it's not anything serious, and then she goes and crashes out and actually does something? What's going to be the response? Why didn't anybody do anything? We knew what she was. She was known to authorities. They're always known to authorities. You see how that works? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, leave it alone, she won't do anything, then at the same time act like something should have been done if and or when she crashes out and does something.
Our video monitors on CBS News 24/7 now take us back to the state of Florida, where a Florida woman faces charges for threatening an insurance company, allegedly using the same words carved into the bullet casings in the fatal shooting of that United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. CBS News correspondent Manuel Bojorquez joins us now from Miami with more on this story. So walk us through how this played out. Apparently it was over the phone, and how were officials able to track her down?
Well, Reed, you know, when you call customer service for a big company, there's that message that the call may be recorded. That appears to be what happened in this case, and the employee on the other end of the line thought it was serious enough to report to superiors. They reported it to the FBI. The FBI calls the Lakeland Police Department in Florida. They determine who she is, 42-year-old Brianna Boston. They show up to her house and arrest her. Now, in her defense, according to the police affidavit, she said that she was sorry for using the words that she had heard him on the news. The words, of course, being delay, deny, depose. You people are next, is what police said. She said on that phone call, and they considered that a threat. But she said she doesn't own a gun, and that she apologized, as I said, and does not consider herself to be a danger to anyone. But they didn't really buy that. They said you will be charged. The charge is written threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism. She has now appeared before a judge.
So do y'all think that that's the right thing to do? And I think they put her on house arrest, and the bond was like $100,000, and she was ordered to stay away from employees of Blue Cross Blue Shield. Do you think that charging her, arresting her was too extreme, or do you take threats seriously? Because again, you can have two trains of thought here. The first train is that she won't do anything. She's just blowing off steam. She was just talking. There's no threat. You could think that, or you could think that it is a threat. But if you think it's not a threat and she does something, now you gambled and lost, because you didn't do anything. You didn't prevent it, although you knew what she was. You already been to her house. You already had investigated, and you decided to let it go. The same way they do all the mass shooters. We always found out that they were known to authorities. The FBI had been to their house. They kind of let it go. I think that might have been the shooter that shot Trump. That was the same situation. This guy had been the problem for a long time. They kept letting it go. And then he does that, and everybody's like, why didn't you do anything from the beginning? Anyway, so yeah, that's definitely a lesson learned. Y'all let me know. Was it too much? Not enough? Whatever it is. All right, now check it out. We got border wall materials still kind of just hanging out on the southern border right now, 2024. So when I hear people talking about, oh, Trump didn't want to build the wall, he didn't build any of the wall. Well, he did build quite a few miles of wall. What was it, like 500 miles of wall? And he was in the process of building more. The materials are down there. But then when Biden came in, they put a halt to it through executive order, and they want to sell the materials. Now they're trying to rush to sell everything right now because they know Trump's coming back. So they're making it more difficult for him to just resume the border wall project. Okay, it's an act of spite in the 0 hour, of course, as always, but let's check out a video here. So it says, in the final weeks of the Biden administration, truckloads of unused border wall materials are being hauled away from the Arizona border. It's being taken north to a government auction site where bidding for an entire segment of wall starts at just $5. Now, you know what I think? Here's my tinfoil hat opinion. Here's my tinfoil hat opinion. I think what they're going to do is sell it to a government-friendly contractor, and then the contractor will sell it back to the Trump administration at 2x, 3x, 10x the price. Okay, it's just a way to grift. That's all they do is get money. All they do is grift and get money. That's the Kamala. This right here is an extension of that mentality. The Kamala campaign, spending $2.5 billion and getting curb stomped and winding up in debt in the process, and not even paying everybody because everybody had their hand out. Gimme, 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 gimme. Same thing with this. It's another grift. A Border Patrol agent estimates that up to half a mile worth of wall is being transported every day. It's a lot of border wall. It is a lot of border wall. Look at all that. It's endless border wall. Let me turn the sound down. Endless. It's out there. ABL, they weren't going to build the wall. They never had the materials. They weren't going to do anything. What's this? Or are my eyes lying to me? Do I not see what I see with my own two eyes? I guess maybe my eyes are lying to me that I don't see all these border wall materials. All right. So that's that. And again, these materials are still there right now. And remember, they've been in office since 21. 4 years later, the materials are still there, but they're trying to settle off in the last minute. So then whoever that contractor is can just grift off of Trump by reselling it at a higher price. So the Trump team already purchased the materials and had it down there prepared to build. Biden is going to sell it, and then they're going to sell it back to Trump. They're going to make them buy it again. So you got to ask yourself, man, why are the Democrats so bent on making the border wall be insecure? Why are they so built on not having the border wall be built? It's because they think that the influx of migrants are going to do two things. First, they're going to be a potential future voter base that's going to vote Democrat. And then also they're going to do some of these cheap jobs that they think Americans don't want to do. But the problem is they bring a bunch of other stuff with them, a bunch of crime, violence, everything else. Okay. They need services that are expensive that nobody else pays for other than local taxpayers. So it's a mess. Now, speaking about Trump and the new dogs, the new guys coming in, we got Trump, Elon, and JD Vance. Where is this at? Y'all know where it was at. I think it might have been a football game. So we got Trump. Elon is everywhere. I like Elon. Elon just wanted to be kind of part of the team. I think Elon will be a good piece to the puzzle that we're building. A real smart guy, he could be utilized some kind of way. And I think Doge, once he's on that, that's going to be a good project for him and Vivek. That's going to be a great, I'm looking forward to Doge the most because the government spending is out of control. Was it Navy? Yeah, the Navy football game. Was it Army-Navy game? Yes, thank you to the Army-Navy game. And I got the opinion in a minute. Imagine that. I got you on that one. But I think it's going to be great with Doge because they're going to cut government spending, and that's a big problem. The things they spend money on, there's no need to spend money on it other than, again, a grift. That's the only, obviously, trying to spend money on blocking the border and things. That's one thing. But then they spend money on experiments. They're experimenting on gerbils and raccoons and all kind of weird stuff for no reason. The Beagle experiment that Fauci was doing, inhumane stuff. Now, here we go. We got your main man, Daniel Penny, with Trump and JD Vance. Now, some are going to be upset at Daniel Penny being right there, but I'm going to tell you why Daniel Penny should be right there. I'm going to tell you why they're upset, or why they may be upset at Daniel Penny being right there. They're going to think that it's like rubbing it in the faces of those who thought that Jordan Neely was a victim, all this, that, and the third. But see, I like him being there because what this says is, if you are a hero and you do the right thing in society, you'll be rewarded for your actions. Daniel Penny was a hero. It's unfortunate that Jordan Neely died. It's unfortunate. I don't wish death on anybody unless they're doing something really crazy in the moment. And I think Jordan Neely was going to do something crazy until Daniel Penny stepped in and put him in restraint. And they said that it wasn't a restraint that did him in. You got all kind of things. You got drugs, mental health, Same thing with George Floyd. George Floyd was a ticking time bomb. It was only a matter of time before he just crashed on out. It just so happened that the officer was right there at the time when it happened. Same thing, Daniel Penny. If Daniel Penny wasn't there on that train, people on the train would have been in serious danger, and he might have done something. The guy, Jordan Neely, has a long track record of assaulting women on the subway, not just threatening them, acting crazy, but as a lady was exiting the subway, he punched her right in the face, no reason. And there's quite a few cases just like that. You got a long rap sheet, a lot of mental health issues. We've all seen the crazy person on the subway system or just out in the street that could be potentially violent. We've seen that. And during those times, you want someone there to protect people, especially women and children. That's what you want. All right, but let's keep on rocking. Now, speaking about Trump and JD, we got this miraculous picture. Okay, look, Time Person of the Year. So you have him at New York Stock Exchange ringing the bell. At the exchange, you have, what's that, Ivanka, Melania, Tiffany, JD Vance. You got a Time magazine in the background, the Trump covers, magazine covers. This is a fantastic picture. The adults are back in the room. The boys are back in town. The incompetent people we have in there right now. See, look, one thing about the Biden administration, they're incompetent. That's the bigger issue. The liberalism and the policies are one thing. That's bad enough. They got these bad policies, but they're also incompetent. They just don't do things properly. Joe Biden is a million years old. Maybe when he was, 40 years younger, he had a certain level of competence, but even back then he was a clown. Kamala has no business being there at all. She was a complete diversity hire. Joe Biden said it. I'm going to hire a black woman to be the vice president and Supreme Court justice, and he did it. So you can't say that they weren't diversity hires when he clearly stated that's the reason why he hired them, is because they're black and women. It was a mess from the very beginning. Now, let's go to the actual exchange in New York and see what the reception was for Trump. Check it out.
Love you, President Trump. Thank you. Thank you, President Trump. Yes.
Thank you.
Baby.
What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you.
I don't have to return my call now.
So we got people that love him. You definitely do. You got a lot of reporters and whatnot that's right there. But a lot of regular people, we love you, President Trump. Now, we got some more reaction. Right there in the floor. We love you, Trump. USA, USA. It's there. It's there. Somebody says, Trump. That whole Trump thing is funny. When people say Trump, it's the funniest thing in the world. It's like, okay, if you call him by his grandfather's name, then that's supposed to be a bad thing. I'd be proud of my grandfather's name. I'd be proud of where we came from and how we've been able to go from that to where I'm at today. I think that his grandfather would be proud of where Trump is right now. The same way mine is proud of me from where I am right now. Why would that be an insult? Oh, you had a granddad and your granddad loved you and your family. Let's call you by his name. Is that an insult? Is that a bad thing? Anyway, so look, ABC has to pay Trump $15 million and apologize to him. Okay. So look, George Stephanopoulos and ABC apologized to Trump and agreed to pay $15 million to settle defamation lawsuit. The wins keep on rolling in. The wins keep on winning. We keep on winning. All right, and here it is again. ABC News has agreed to pay $15 million toward Donald Trump's presidential library to settle a lawsuit over anchor George Stephanopoulos' inaccurate on their assertion that the president-elect had been found civilly liable for assaulting writer E. Jean Carroll. According to settlement documents made public Saturday, ABC will post a note on its website expressing regret over the claim in the March 10th segment on Stephanopoulos' This Week program and pay $1 million in legal fees to Trump's lawyer. Hey, man, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. The winds keep on rolling in. Now, let's go back to that time where this particular statement was made.
Yes, this morning. And you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was raped at the age of 16. And any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not gonna do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
No, you are shaming me.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury.
Now, look, the whole thing about liable, I was saying this on the Hot Students podcast. This is what the media does. Pay attention. If you're not really, okay, when they say he was found liable, what does that mean? Does that mean he assaulted her? Yes or no? And if you ask that question, they'll get to him and hawing. Well, but all right. Does it mean that he assaulted her? Yes or no? Being found liable of a thing does not mean you did it. Let me go back to the Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey lawsuit. I always mention that because it kind of drives the point home. Now, when Nick Cannon was married to Mariah Carey, their nanny sued them and said that their baby headbutted her in the chest. Boom. She nursing the baby, right? The baby, Goo Goo Gaga nursing the baby. Baby said, boom, hit her right in the chest with the forehead. Now, do you think a baby can injure an adult with a headbutt? I don't think so either, but it didn't matter because the nanny still sued them to say that the baby headbutted her and caused her pain and suffering. And she won a settlement, at least. Does that mean the baby hurt the lady? No. All that it means is you were awarded some money in a lawsuit. That's all that it means. It doesn't mean that you actually did it. If you say that I assaulted somebody, all right, take me to criminal court and provide evidence. If you can't do that, then I'm not trying to hear it. But I digress.
It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two.
Hold on, let's rewind.
By a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case.
It's not a criminal court case. Now, Nancy Mace, as you heard, is actually a victim of assault. Not a court case where somebody said that they're liable. No, she was actually physically assaulted, and there was evidence to say that that's what happened.
Number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim, and I find it disgusting. And quite frankly, E. Jean Carroll's comments when she did get the judgment, joking about what she was going to buy, it makes it harder for women to come forward when they make a mockery out of rape, when they joke about it.
Doesn't it make it harder for women to come forward when they?
It makes it harder when other women joke about it, and she's joked about it. I find it offensive, and I also find it offensive that you're trying to shame me with this question.
I'm not trying to shame you.
Are.
Well, in fact,
so that's the general gist of what happened. That's the segment in which Trump sued and won $15 million for. Okay. Now, somebody says, oh, some of you guys talking about a baby's headbutt could hurt you. Wow. Some of y'all big blockhead babies. I thought I had a blockhead as a baby. Some of y'all babies built like SpongeBob SquarePants in the head, man. That's crazy. If a baby can headbutt you and knock you out, hey, man, I don't know what y'all feeding these kids, man. I don't know what's in the baby food to make a baby just hit you with the Floyd Mayweather or something like that. Or not Floyd Mayweather, the Evander Holyfield and the Mike Tyson fight where he said he kept getting headbutted and then he had to bite him in the ear. If your baby is doing that, I don't know what you're feeding them. I don't know. Now, let's go to mainstream media because they're dying. They're on the way out. Lawsuits, defamation and everything against public figures that they don't like. Here's Joy Reid talking about Trump becoming Time Person of the Year.
Better or for worse?
And RIP to the headphone users in advance. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously.
Is not much of a ringing endorsement, and we all know which one Trump falls under. And let's remember who else has been given this title in years past in the same category: Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Vladimir Putin. In fact, Stalin won the distinction twice, just like Trump. Regardless of the company he keeps, we know how important these magazine covers are to Trump. Just look at this tour he gave the Washington Post in 2015 of his Trump Tower office, with a wall adorned with his various cover appearances. Better or for worse?
So obviously they don't really like that Trump succeeded and was able to get that that honor from Time Magazine. All right, here goes your man Don Lemon.
Now, if they wanted to
RIP headphone users, let's put them on the screen.
Make someone person of person of the year, they would have made someone who, and my God, I'm sure he loves this, right? If they wanted to make someone person of the year, I don't know, they could have done it with any person. People, they could have done it to someone who actually stood for democracy, who stands for democracy in the country. Now, you think about what encompasses person of the year. Just because you are elected president of the United States does not mean that you should be person of the year. What Time Magazine, what are you doing? Let me ask you, Time Magazine. What do you say to the women who, I guess, still read Time Magazine? Or the women who don't they do like a whole Time 100 thing or something, which, you know, what about the women who are on that list? What about that? I'm sure some of them will had dealt with issues that women have to deal with, like discrimination in the workplace, SA, all kinds of things.
See, look, I don't know where these guys, Don Lemon, one thing about Don Lemon, I'm gonna just defend him a little bit, but at the same time, not giving an excuse. Now, let me just hear me out when I say this. Okay. What I said before is that if you're still a black male voting Democrat, you're either a little bit slow mentally, or you're like 65 years old, you're like a senior citizen. Not all black senior citizens are going to think that way, obviously. But if you are a black senior citizen, you know that a lot of your friends, family, they think like this, that this is pretty much them. A lot of your liberal leftists of all colors feel the same way, but especially like your older black guys. He is 58 years old. You're approaching 60. Okay, you're approaching 60. You're born in the 1960s. So you don't think the same kind of way I think a lot of times. I think that it's more likely for the younger generation of black folks to be more conservative than the older generation, although you're going to have some in both that do both. So that's kind of where this ideology is coming from. He sounds the same as a lot of guys that's the same age. That's just what they talk about. They mention things that don't really matter, things that nobody really cares about. But it matters to them because they've been trained a certain way to believe. Your boomer generation, but I think he might be like at best a young boomer or early, would that be Gen X? And shout out to you guys who coming in here from the Hot Twins podcast. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Johnny Walker. I appreciate you. Great interview with the Twins, ABL. Thank you. Let's hear from Joe Rogan about some things that's going on.
Each in the First Amendment. What they want is to keep their fucking job and
sorry for the cussing, but you know Joe Rogan. I'm gonna try to censor it live.
Keep power, and also not get in trouble for some of the shit that was maybe illegal, which we wouldn't even known about if Elon didn't buy Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the Elon buying Twitter was like that.
It's a game changer.
The game changer.
The fork in the road for civilization.
Yep.
It
Yeah,
was because before Elon came about, social media in general, but Twitter. You couldn't say anything. If you were conservative, you got censored. The Joe Biden laptop that got suppressed. That was big. That could have changed the entire election in 2020 because they suppressed that and said that it wasn't real and gaslighted us talking about, oh, don't worry about that. But if they didn't do that, if they were just honest, then they could have lost. All the lies they did, all the stopgap measures they took to keep Trump out of office are now backfiring. And now we're even more conservative than we were before Trump had the election taken or whatever you want to say in 2020.
It's wild to think, isn't
Mark
it?
Andreessen has said there's two forks in the road. There's one, Elon buys Twitter, and two, Trump turns his head and doesn't get shot.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
If those two things don't happen, who fucking knows where we are?
I don't disagree. And you look at those both scenarios are both like 1 in a million. Like, how would Trump turns his head, like that's wild.
Right.
But then like how would a guy like Elon exist, first of all, in our lifetime?
Right. What are the odds?
What are the odds, right? That has the vehicle of Twitter or and all the things line up.
Not just has the vehicle, has so much fucking money that he's willing to blow $44 billion on something that's worth $200 billion, maybe.
Right.
So, or rather 20 billion, maybe.
Right.
So one of the things that like there's this narrative, like he's such a bad businessman, Twitter is worth $20 billion less than when he purchased it. No.
It don't even matter. Like the value of Twitter, once you start dealing with 20 billion, 40 billion, if you have that kind of money to blow, it doesn't really matter because at that point, you're not looking at the valuation necessarily. I mean, you are looking at the valuation. You don't want to just pay an exorbitant amount, but it's bigger than the valuation. It's more about trying to change society. That is priceless.
No. It was never worth that much. He overpaid for it.
Right.
He overpaid for it on purpose. Yeah.
Knowingly.
Yeah, knowingly. He just wanted to take control of this fucking thing that has always been so important to us, which is the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. So shout out to Joe Rogan. Now, Philip Neri says, ABL, you're slow. How am I slow? Slow doing what? Let me know how I'm slow. And what I always say, whenever there's like an influx of new people and they want to come in trolling or saying negative things, just call me. Call me later on. We're going to do calls later on. And they never do it because they're cowards. And the same people that say stuff like that in the chat, when they see me in person, they never say nothing. I met a troll one time. Well, he became a troll. I'm not going to say his name, but he probably knows who he is. And hey, if you're watching, my man, I have nothing against you, but you know what you were doing to me for a while. This guy was trolling me, calling me all kinds of names, all on my social media platforms. And one day I saw him. We were in the same place doing something. We were filming something and I saw him. I approached him like, hey man, what's going on? Everything all right? All of a sudden, the big tough guy from online went away. And I wasn't trying to be a tough guy. I was trying to be nice, had a smile on my face, shook his hand. Hey man, what's going on? All this tough guy stuff went away. All the negative comments went away. Because when you see me in person, I'm a real person. But online, people want to feel like they got a certain level of anonymity and they could do whatever they want to do. And you can't do anything back to them. It's like they want to punch you in the face and then walk away. But look, if you punch me in the face in person, hey, you're going to get stomped completely into wine. But I don't want no problems, man. I'll shake your hand and be nice to you. If I see you trolling in person, I'll be nice to him. I ain't going to do nothing to you. But you're not going to do nothing to me either. And if you do, well, that's your fault because you brought it on yourself. I come to you with peace. I come to you with love. Okay? Y'all not going to know who it is. I say these things, y'all never guess. Y'all never guess. Yeah, but the trolls, hey man, that's only the new people, the people that really know who I am. I appreciate y'all. Y'all changed my life. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the good people who watch and enjoy the show and watch with their friends, family. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best. All right. Hey, HP Benin, the finest of wines. You're going to get a whole brand new wine selection. Okay, I'm going to bottle it and sell it to local restaurants. All right, what's this new wine? We got ABL Foot Stomp. Okay, it's a Chardonnay poured over room temperature. You'll be good to go. All right. So Van Jones and others have admitted that the mainstream media is dead. They know it's dead. They know it's over. And we've all seen it. We know that the mainstream media has been dead for a long time because they're not keeping up with modern technology. They don't have anybody that can stream. They don't have anybody that can connect to younger people. They always lie. They abuse their position. They come from an ivory tower. They can't relate to us. They work with the federal government to deny us our rights of being able to know what's happening with our own country. They do things like that. All those things have combined to make sure that they have fallen. Let's watch.
In the Philly suburbs. And I'm telling you, we are way off. The entire political class is way off. First of all, digital is a new door knocking. Mm-hmm. You got to understand that. We were laughing our butts off at Donald Trump for suspending his door knocking campaign and letting Charlie Kirk and Elon do a bunch of stuff online. We said, these guys are idiots. These guys are stupid. Then you start knocking on these doors. You know what people come to the door with? Their phone in their hand. They're in a 24-hour digital surround sound that has nothing to do with CNN, has nothing to do with any stuff that we do. I got a teenage son. I asked him, who are the most influential people in the world today? I'm thinking to myself, he's going to say Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z. He says, Kai Cent, Aiden Ross, Jinxie, and Sketch. I don't know who he's talking about. I said, what?
Kai Cenat, right? What did he say? Kai Cent? He don't even know. He's not even heard about Kai Cenat at all. But he has millions of people that watch him all over this world. So you want to be tuned into somebody like that. You want to be keyed into somebody like that because they can reach a tremendously big audience that your door knocking campaign that worked in 1965 cannot do.
What platforms are you on? He goes, I'm on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. I said, that sounds like you need to go to the hospital. What are these platforms? I'm telling you guys, the mainstream has become fringe, and the fringe has become mainstream. There are platforms, there are people out there that are getting 14 million streams, and we're on cable news getting 1 or 2 million. And so there is a whole world out there. Kellyanne Conway, I hate to agree with her, but I do a lot of times.
Oh, hey, look, I crashed out on my man for saying I was slow, but he was talking about this slow censoring out the cuss words. Hey, I'm sorry, I apologize, but that whole diatribe I went on still applies to all the haters, but not you, because you're good.
Donald Trump understood that and we didn't. And it's not just Democrats that don't. The entire political class is way off, way off, way off.
All right, so shout out to Van Jones for admitting the obvious. Everybody knows that the mainstream media, they're old, out of date. They don't know anything. The Democratic National Convention, DNC, Democratic National Committee, whatever, they're doing old things that don't work anymore. But like I was saying before, the reason why they do a lot of the door knocking and canvassing, whatever they want to call it, is because those things have a built-in industry that gets a lot of money. So every time they need to have an election or whatever, they do stuff like that. They reach out to the same people and spend a bunch of money. They think that it works well, but it doesn't. That's why Trump was able to spend such a small amount of money and still win easily. Now, here's Leslie Stahl and Peggy Noonan. And, you know, one thing about it, shout out to everybody that's up there in age, but when you're seeing people from legacy media talk, you can see that they've been around for a long time and time has passed them by. You still got to do things to maintain your relevance. You can't just be doing the same old things that worked 40 years ago and expect for it to work today.
But we're at a point where if the president of the United States is going to say legacy media is dead, well, I guess Musk said that. Legacy media is dead.
And he wants it dead. He wants other media.
But it is kind of, sort of hobbling right now. And I don't know how it recovers. I'm very dark about it.
You're very dark about it.
I am.
I just, well, this is, you know, we're talking about something so essential that you don't want to say, well, we'll see, you know, or maybe the world will end, we'll see.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, at a certain point, you got to let the younger generation come in. You got to allow for new ways to communicate to come in and take advantage of it. If you still want to do the old things from the 70s and the 60s and the 50s and prior, it's just not a thing anymore, 2024. Yeah, the glasses, Mamaw glasses. Mamaw, it's okay. It's okay, though, but if you're up there like that, you need to be open to doing new things and to change. Okay. Caitlyn Clark. Now, you guys know Caitlyn Clark, WNBA star, who just came into the league this year, setting all kind of attendance records. Caitlyn Clark, the thing about Caitlyn Clark, let me explain what's going on with Caitlyn Clark because you guys don't know. There's some controversy because she won, I think, what was this, Time Athlete of the Year or something like this. Hold on. Yeah. Let me see. This is part of the reason why women's sports does not succeed. I'm gonna tell you there's two main reasons why women's basketball to be specific, not just women's sports, because some women's sports does well, gymnastics, tennis, etc. That does well, but women's basketball in the United States does not do well because of things like this. So look, Mystics co-owner, that's a WNBA team. Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson criticizes Time's decision to name Caitlyn Clark Athlete of the Year. The co-owner of the Washington franchise thinks too much of the focus has been on Clark. Now, as you can see, that's Caitlyn Clark right there, and she is holding her Time magazine cover. Okay, that's her. Shout out to her. She cleans up pretty well, athletic and everything. Shout out to Caitlyn Clark. But the thing about Caitlyn Clark is that the league has been dominated by her because she's the draw. She's the attraction. She is a very good basketball player. She plays like Steph Curry, shooting threes. Like, she's really good. And she was very good in college. She had a big following in college and now in the WNBA. But what's happening is the WNBA is mostly black. So they see it as an offense if a white person gets a lot of attention. And also, if it's just one girl, it gets a lot of attention. You see? So you got a lot of the cattiness of women and also some racial elements going on. Now, this is part of the reason why women's basketball does not succeed, because women themselves are not supporting it the way they should. Women themselves are going to get in their own way and not allow another woman to get more attention than they do. Not all the time, obviously. Not you guys watching. You guys are fantastic. You would never do a thing like that. Hey, no woman watching this show right now would ever be upset that somebody's getting attention and they're not. Okay, you go to a function, a restaurant, and there's a young lady wearing the same dress you're wearing, you're gonna love it. But that's the reason. That's the reason why. It's because of the hate. And also, the biggest reason why WNBA basketball does not do well is because it sucks. Caitlyn Clark is a great player, but you got a bunch of these bull daggers that can make a layup. It's like, I could play better than that, and I'm not even really on no athletic stuff at the moment. I got about 25% athleticism left in my body. I'm old, okay? But I can go out there and miss a layup the same way they do. You got a bad product, catty women, jealousy, hatred, envy. You're not going to have a successful product like that. Let's go to CNN and look at a roundtable discussion about this issue of the WNBA being built on black players and having to bend the knee to the black women. Listen, I don't really care what color you are. If you're a good basketball player, you're a good basketball player. The same thing going on right now with Nikola Jokic in the WNBA, because they can't stop him. They can't do anything with him. And they're upset because he's European, a white guy. That's kind of what's going on. But the biggest thing they're upset about is the fact that he's dominant and they can't stop him.
Why is she being bullied?
Why is that wrong?
Why is she being bullied for acknowledging something that's smart, truth, and factual?
Well, a couple things. Number one, whether you're an athlete or anyone else, if I hear you use the phrase "my truth," I immediately then discount everything else you say, because there isn't my truth or your truth. There's just the truth. And when you start using phrases like that, it tells me that
not true.
Your brain has been captured by something that I don't really respect.
That's not true.
Number two.
That's not true.
Number two, the attention the league got this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're talking about having respecting people who built something, what did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean, what did they build? What do you mean, what did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
The reason why it's still...
That's a good question. Okay, if the black players built a WNBA, then what did they build? Because the WNBA does not make any money, and they never have in their 20 years of existence. So what did they actually build? What are we talking about? And let's say they built it. Why not be grateful for a Caitlyn Clark coming in to bring more eyes, to bring more attention, to bring more revenue, to bring more. Listen, Caitlyn Clark did so well this year. She drew so much of an audience this year. They're talking about making expansion teams, new teams in the WNBA. They're talking about expanding into new cities because of how well that one person did. Caitlyn Clark is like LeBron James in the sense of bringing a wave of economics to the league. LeBron James, listen, You can love or hate LeBron James, but basketball-wise, this guy is a money machine. When he came to Cleveland, he was able to, just by his influence alone, by bringing in so much money to come watch him, they're building restaurants, hotels. There was a whole economy based on LeBron James in Cleveland. Same thing with Caitlyn Clark. And not just Cleveland, but the entire league benefited as a result of one person, LeBron James. It sure did.
Business did they build?
The reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are in this.
Isn't it because of the investors?
No.
The reason why it's up and running is because of the NBA subsidizing it. If not for the NBA's money, there would be no WNBA because they don't make any money and they never have.
Scott, stop it. You stop it now.
It's not. I was in Dickie's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickie's arena. Let me just tell you.
It says more about the people who are getting offended by it than her.
I think they're just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke mob.
You don't like the way
here's the disappointment.
It's the white privilege. Let him articulate this because I want to learn something.
I feel a little bad for her because she's going to learn that it will never be enough, no matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough.
And it never be enough. What he's talking about is Caitlyn Clark having to give the black players credit while at the same time celebrating her own award, celebrating winning the Athlete of the Year. She's got to say, well, the black players, all this and that. Just, hey, appreciate your own achievement without having to include everybody else. That's what I would do. And this was, again, her just trying to pander to them, but it's never going to be enough. It's always going to be the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. One thing that I noticed that it worked for those who have been canceled or they tried to cancel them is you don't back down from your stance. If you don't back down from your stance, their canceling doesn't work. Just like Dana White. Now, I'm not advocating for what Dana White did, but I'm saying this is an example. So Dana White got into a fight with his wife or whatever that was. I think it was his wife. Slapped her dead in the head. Boom, right on camera. But he didn't back down from his stance. He didn't have to kowtow to the woke mob. He kept on going. So I guess they made up. Again, I don't advocate nothing like that. Keep your hands to yourself. My point is that he didn't have to grovel and get ruined by that because he didn't back down.
For the people in that league that hate her guts.
Why do you assume
they hate her
that
guts?
Why do you assume that she is trying to pander? Isn't it
because
also,
I hear the language. It's the language of the pander. I hear the phrase white privilege. Sports is the one place where nobody on the field has any privilege at all. She doesn't get extra points when she shoots because she's white. She gets the same number of points as anybody else. Sports is the great equalizer, and it just felt like to a lot of people that she was groveling for no reason because she is an amazing player who deserves all the accolades she's getting right now for doing what she's doing for women's basketball.
Right on. So shout out to my main man, was Scott Jennings on CNN. 8-Bit only says, I disagree with you. I disagree you can acknowledge others with your success. You should just not inject race into it. I understand that. I get it. But it shouldn't be about those who did not really help you. Because, okay, if you have players in the league, they've been there for a while, they've been doing their thing, that's great, that's fantastic. But were you with me in Indiana or wherever I grew up, taking jump shots with me? I can appreciate those, like my coaches who were there and, grade school. I can appreciate my teammates in the pros and in college and coaches, trainers. I can appreciate them, but just random people because they're black or any other color, nah. I mean, we ain't doing that because how do you think that you being black and an WNBA player has helped me? How has it really helped me? So nah, if it's me, I wouldn't do it. That wouldn't really be my thing. So if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. So the drones, can we get to the drones right quick? Because they don't know what's going on. All right, we got Mayorkas. We got a few people talking about what's happening here. And they don't know what's going on. All right, I'm going to get to News Nation first. I'm going to get to News Nation and hear what this man is talking about as far as the drone situation. Now, I got to ask y'all, as I was saying at the beginning, what do y'all think is causing the drones? You think it's a foreign adversary? You think it's aliens? Excuse me, you think it's the United States government? Who or what is behind the drones found in New Jersey and all over the United States?
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here.
RIP to the headphone users. Let me turn that sound down. Start from the top.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights. I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft.
Now, I got a freeze frame on the screen. What do y'all think these are? Matter of fact, let's do a poll. Okay. What are these flying objects in the sky? Question mark. UFO, USA government, foreign government, random person. Okay, so the poll's going to be, what are these flying objects in the sky? UFOs, USA government, foreign government, random person. Those are your options. All right, so I'll put it up right there. I apologize for the poll being right there. I can't remove that. But let's go back to this video. And again, what do y'all think that is right there?
About 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones. Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on.
So, okay, here's a question. What do you think could be powering the drones if the drones don't give off heat as regular drones do? What do y'all think is powering it? They got to be up in the sky some kind of way. They're not just, ain't no pixie dust. How are the drones being powered?
It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
50 drones that came off the ocean. So if there's no mothership, the way that Jeff Van Drew was talking about the drones coming into the United States, then how are they coming from the water? Are they just underwater? Is there underground? Is there an underwater base? So the drones can fly in the air and they can swim in the water?
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow.
So there we go. All right. So, I think we're dealing with U.S. government. Like a lot of you guys are talking about like the lights, they're government compliant lights. So probably all military. I think somebody said it earlier. They're trying to find dirty bombs. They're trying to find security threats on the East Coast. All right. But 50 of them from the water and nobody has any answers. I don't like that. If it's us, if it's us, just say it's us. So Railroad 22 says those are quads, probably battery EV type fuel, and quads can be piloted by a human. So they can actually be inside of the quad, physically inside of it, not just remote control like a toy drone from Best Buy or something like that. All right. And I don't think it's aliens. Again, if it's aliens, I think that we wouldn't really recognize what's going on. All right. We wouldn't really recognize what's going on if it's aliens, in my opinion. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Exactly, Duke Raoul. Duke Raoul says, why would an alien craft have lights on it? Exactly. Now, here we have Alejandro Mayorkas. Now, you know Alejandro Mayorkas has no idea what's going on. This guy's out to lunch, for real, for real. But here he is talking about the drones. Let's see what he's got to say about the whole situation.
President-elect Donald Trump, he just called on the Biden administration for you guys to either release any information it has about these mysterious drone sightings or shoot the drones out of the sky. How do you respond to the president-elect?
Well, first of all, the statements I've made already are the principal message that I want to communicate to the American public. We haven't seen anything unusual. We know of no threat.
But see, look, but we're not asking you about that. What we're asking you is, what are these things? What are these things? Like, that's the actual question that we're trying to get answered. And you continuously evade it the same way you always evade the question.
Secondly, we have gone to Congress repeatedly asking for more authority to counter drone activity. And we have also asked for more authority to give to the state and local officials under our supervision, because it correctly notes those authorities need to be expanded.
I want to play something another New Jersey congressman, Republican Jeff Van Drew, said about the drones over his state in New Jersey. Listen to this.
We're not being told the truth. They are dealing with the American public like we're stupid. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it comes from, but they know that it's not that. I mean, that's nonsense. They do not know what they're doing. Why don't they take one of them down, analyze it, and let us know what's really happening?
What do you say to the congressman?
Well, first of all, we have experts, and he should not diminish the extent of their expertise and the extent of their dedication.
There's always experts. The same experts that said that the Hunter Biden laptop was fake and came from Russia, those same experts. I mean, these people, I guess maybe what they're saying right now on television used to work back in the day. Maybe before the internet came about and we didn't know any better, they can just get on TV and say anything and it'll work. But those days have long passed. Those days have passed. We're not buying what you're selling us anymore.
To the well-being of the American people. These are individuals who dedicate their careers to the safety and security of the United States of America, number one. Number two, it's not as though anyone can just take down a drone in the sky. That in and of itself would be dangerous.
Do you have the authority to shoot down drones?
Our authorities are very limited. That is precisely why we have gone to Congress to expand those authorities. Our authorities are limited by the United States Coast Guard in the maritime environment, the United States Secret Service in its protection of our national leaders, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection with respect to the border. We have various authorities that are discrete to the particular missions. We can't just shoot a drone out of the sky.
Do you know for sure these are drones or unmanned aircraft? What are they?
We believe that there are cases of mistaken identity where drones are actually small aircraft and people are misidentified.
Bro, I mean, this guy, man. Now, look, this guy is supposed to be in charge of, like, national security, Homeland Security Secretary. That's him right here. And you see why we got illegal aliens pouring across the border. You see why we got all this kind of crazy stuff going on, because look at the guy in charge, giving word salad, being evasive, don't know what's going on or won't tell us what's going on. Now you see why the border is the way it is, because you got guys like this in charge. What is he even saying? This is word salad, man. I don't want to hear word salad from people in Homeland Security. I want to get some definitive answers. The same way I don't want to see, people like John Kirby looking at me when they're trying to tell me something serious.
Identifying them. There very well may be drones in the sky, of course, but those are commercially available. One can go into a convenience store and buy a small drone. There are also commercial drones.
A convenience store and get a small, bro.
As well. But we know of no threat or nefarious activity. And I want to repeat, Wolf, that if we learn of any cause for concern, we will be transparent in our communication of it.
It's completely BS. Completely BS. Because the thing is, what they're trying to tell us through all these people is don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If it's threatening, we'll tell you, but don't worry about it right now. You straight. Now, I'm not asking you. What is it though? Tell us what it is. I don't like the dishonesty. I like people being transparent, because when you're dishonest like that, it makes people more distrustful of you guys. Now, let's get to a video here. This is from earlier today. This is on, what's that, USA Today? Or, I don't know, one of these alphabet letters. Let's check it out.
We want to turn now to that growing mystery in the skies. Near nightly sightings of mysterious drones, and they appear to be spreading. First spotted in New Jersey, now in New York, Delaware,
NBC Today.
Maryland, and elsewhere. NBC's Sam Brock is in Mendham, New Jersey this morning with more. Sam, good morning.
Yeah, Peter, good morning. Some of the words that we're hearing frequently from lawmakers right now: outrageous, unacceptable, at the status quo, at the moment of basically wait and see. As Peter, the state of New Jersey just saw about 80 reported suspected drone sightings in a single night. Now, about half of the counties in this state, there are 21 total, so at least 10 have reported dozens of drone sightings. You look at that heat map right there, just from Monmouth County, New Jersey. As you mentioned, this has been expanding all across the Northeast. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have weighed in and said they've reviewed imagery, Peter, and from that imagery have determined, quote, that many of the reported sightings are manned aircrafts. Now, the FBI has said to the public there is no national security risk here at all, but we can't exactly explain what is going on. And the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey, said that explanation is lacking.
Yeah.
When you have our governor, going out on social media saying, we don't know what it is, but we don't think it's a credible threat. You can't have it both ways. They are looking for something. I want to know what they're looking for.
So President-elect Trump weighed in on social media saying that either the public has to be informed here or these drones need to be shot down. However, it is very clear that is not legal to shoot down drones that are flying in unrestricted airspace, not to mention the fact, guys, there is a significant risk to public safety in so doing.
Okay, well, we shot the spy balloon down, so why are the drones any different? Why would the drones be any different? See, they're not telling the truth.
Peter?
Yeah, some of these drones are pretty good size there, Sam. So many questions about them still, obviously, who's behind them. But significantly, another question is who's actually responsible for answering these questions, to getting to the bottom of this?
That is the question of the hour. So you talk about the FBI. Their role is specifically to determine, is there or is there not a national security risk? They've already done that. The FBI, Peter, is not in the drone chasing business, which then means, what about the FAA? So the FAA does create rules for drones. They did just add a new page to their website specifically about drones, but they do not have the reinforcements, the resources to be able to do investigating and actual enforcement on a broader scale, which means experts tell us there is this giant gap, right, between determining no security risk, but who figures out where we go from here? In the meantime, you have refrigerator-sized drones hovering over communities and millions of people wanting to know what is behind this. And that question continues.
Yes,
Peter, Laura, back to you.
The questions grow. Sam Brock, we appreciate.
They have nothing. They have nothing, man. That's terrible for the government to not know anything about what's going on. Or they say they don't know what's going on in our sky. That's what they say. All right. So I'll let this poll stay up for a little while longer. Again, the poll, you see it on the screen, it says, what are these flying objects in the sky? UFOs, USA government, foreign government, random person. So who's responsible? Might be the better question, but you understand what the question is trying to ask. Y'all let me know. I'll leave it up for a little while longer. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, we have more here. We most certainly have more. So here is Eric Adams.
I've learned also.
Now, I want to just play this and then I'm going to read something. Let's play it.
I've learned also from sitting down with him and a representative from the Biden administration that was there in the meeting as well. We have 500,000 children who have sponsors in this country that we can't find.
500,000 children with sponsors that we cannot find in this country. Now, a question I would have is, when we say children, what are we talking about? Are we talking about under 18? Because a 16-year-old in Venezuela is not a 16-year-old in the United States. Okay, by the time they're 16 years old, they might already got a family. They might have already been to prison, then deleted people. So when we say children, who are we talking about? And if we're talking about a lot of these potential gang members, 16, 17 years old, then that's worse than just having a bunch of little kids. Well, I ain't gonna say it's worse. I say it's equally as bad. If you got little kids roaming around that don't know what's going on, that could be human trafficking. If you got these, these late teenagers, now you got not drug addicts. You have drug sellers, gang members, murderers, all of that in that mix.
We can't find them. We don't know what they're doing. I've learned also from sitting down with him and a representative from the Biden administration that was there in the meeting as well. We have 500,000 children who have sponsors in this country that we can't find. We can't find them. We don't know what they're doing. I've learned also.
So what do y'all think is going on? What's happening? Now, let me read what I wanted to read here. So let me put it on the screen. All right. So I listen to the police scanner often to try and figure out certain crimes committed in the city. And I do hear a lot of missing kids calls coming from migrant shelters. I've asked hotel staff how many kids have gone missing from these shelters. They told me they lost count. Often what my sources told me is that kids are also being recycled and are used by different fake parents to get nice hotel rooms at migrant shelters. Other stories are at times parents or fake parents will rent the child for whatever the reason. Another thing I was told by sources is that the boarders and gang members would force a mother and their children to be a fake couple so they can get free hotel rooms, but normally that turns out bad. I've heard multiple stories where the fake father sexually assaulted the mother-daughter, of course, because these are strangers and they're coming from third world countries where they don't know anything. I also heard from police sources that they have arrested multiple adults for assaulting underage kids as young as 11 or 14. At multiple migrant shelters, we have girls as young as 12 who are already pregnant. When I started filming the migrant crisis when it first started, I thought I was filming a humanitarian crisis, but later on, I discovered a world of evil that I've never seen before in my life. While some try to get me to stop reporting the truth, I ignore them and keep pushing forward, and I will push the truth until it gets fixed. To be honest, I've never dealt with anything like this in my life, and it definitely left a mental scar on me. So that's Leroy Press, pardon me, LEEROYPRESS at Leroy Press. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's what's happening out there in the migrant shelter. So when people say, oh, well, you know what? You want to deport people. You want to close the border. You're not being humane. No, you're not being humane because look at what's happening across the border. Okay, it's not what you think. It's not people just trying to come make a better life. You got a lot of human trafficking, a lot of money being made, a lot of gang members, a little bit of everything happening. Drugs coming across, guns coming across, all of that. All of that. So then when we say, hey, let's build the border wall and they say it's racist, I'm like, how? Make it make sense. It doesn't really make sense right now. It makes no sense to me.
He wants to meet with them, but the invitation came with some harsh words.
Chicago's in trouble because your mayor sucks and your governor sucks.
100%. Shout out to Tom Homan. One more time.
Chicago's in trouble because your mayor sucks and your governor sucks.
I couldn't say that better myself. Your governor, J.B. Pritzker, he sucks. The mayor, Brandon Johnson, he sucks. That's why Chicago sucks. That's why you got all these migrants running around doing whatever they want to do. And once the federal monies run out, you're going to see an influx of homeless migrants, an influx of criminal migrants. You're going to see all of that. You already got that going on right now, but you're going to see even more once that federales money dries up. And then the whole talking point about, oh, they work jobs that Americans don't want to do. Well, if they want to work jobs that Americans don't want to do, then why would they leave when the government benefits run out? Why not? You should be able to work, right? You're here to work, right? Not get government benefits. But when the government benefits run out, they're going to run out too. Or they're going to be in the street doing some illegal activity. But I thought it was the Americans doing the illegal activity. I thought it was the Americans selling drugs, using drugs, not wanting to work, being lazy, watching Sunday Night Football, all this, that, and the third. I thought it was us. But you're going to see just how much that government money meant to the migrants coming across. You see what they're doing? Gaming the system, a fake family, fake kids to get free hotel room, free. If they're here to work, then why do all that to try and game the system? Come on. We already know what's going on here. We know what's happening. Now, let me end the poll right quick. We got almost 700 votes. How many? All right. Let's do one more for 700. There we go. 700 votes. I put it up 18 minutes ago, and it pretty much stayed the same. So what are the flying objects in the sky? 66% of y'all say it's the USA government. 20% say foreign government. 7% said UFO. 5% said random person. So the overwhelming majority of y'all say it's us. It's the federal government. It's the U.S. government putting the drones in the sky, and they don't want to tell us, talking about don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So look, I got a whole washer and dryer above my house in a circle spinning with green and blue Christmas lights on it, right? Green and red, blue, white, American flag, Christmas lights, all of that above my house. And when I ask you, hey, what's that? You say, don't worry about it. Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's cool. That's great. Great job, federal government. You get $1 trillion to tell me nothing of my hard-earned tax. Look, if I'm paying my hard-earned tax money to you guys every quarter, I'm kicking out big money. Just bing, bing. I'm kicking out big money. Why can't I know what this washer dryer, this refrigerator, this Ford F-150 above me, hovering with no sound and lights on, I can't know what that is? Why? I'm not really able to handle it. Yeah, I don't like the nanny kind of government, the nanny state, trying to control what you do, trying to regulate your emotions, trying to put you on drugs. I don't like the nanny state at all. Yeah. Now, I guess some could be random drones, but that big 18-wheeler above me is not a random drone. Okay, this big Mars rover above my house hovering at 100 foot is not a hobbyist thing. If I can just almost reach out and touch it or throw a rock and hit it and it's silent and it's the size of a Winnebago, I'm not buying the whole thing about, oh, it's a random drone that they got from the convenience store. So I can go to 7-Eleven, holla at Apu and them in there and get a drone that's going to be 15 foot long. Come on, man. You got to stop playing games. We must stop playing games. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, more about the migrants. So Nate Friedman exposes that only 30% of people at the border get asked questions. You go to the border, hey, man, maybe you might get pulled, maybe you won't, but probably not. Let's watch.
Hacen una fila, pero no hacen muchas preguntas, nada más como un celular, te miran, hay información de tu nombre.
Whoa. He's saying a lot right here. Now, for the non-Spanish speakers, myself included, I'm going to read the subtitles of what he's talking about. Okay. First he says they line us up, but they don't ask many questions.
Una fila, pero no hacen muchas preguntas, nada más
They have like a cell phone with information about you. So they look at you. So what he's saying right here is when you come to the border, they got a database and you're already on it if you come into the border because, okay, you have citizenship somewhere else, right? You might be a citizen in Guatemala, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Salvador, Mexico, whatever. Okay. Or China, Russia. You're a citizen of somewhere else. So we're going to take fingerprints, retina scans, all of that, and we're going to identify you right there. Let's keep on going.
Como un celular, te miran, hay información.
So they got your name,
de tu nombre,
the day you were born.
Que tú naciste. Te dice,
they say to you, your name is Juan Carlos. There's everything. They got all your information right there.
So they get your name, the date of birth. Did they ask you anything about your history, about what you do for work, who your family is, anything like that?
Pues la verdad.
And he says, well, the truth is that to me, no, since there are so many people, I believe that. So let's continue.
A mí, como son tantas personas, creo que como
70% of the people are asked questions and 30% are not. So it's such an influx of people. I mean, 70%, according to this guy, they're not being asked anything. They just kind of let on through. And somebody's like an airport. Yes, it's like an airport. It's like TSA. Basically, Border Patrol has become TSA.
70% de las personas le hacen preguntas y al 30% no. Creo que mi respuesta.
They don't ask me any questions.
Porque no me hicieron preguntas, solo me rastrearon, me hicieron.
They tracked me and made me the migration papers or sign them.
30% don't get asked questions about their background. They just get let through. Is that right?
So there we go. I mean, that is your southern border. And it's being done on purpose because they want to flood the country with the migrants again. They want the votes in the future eventually because the ultimate goal is for the Democrats to get back in power, and then they're going to pass amnesty, mass amnesty for all these illegal aliens in the country. But beyond that, they want the cheap labor to try and combat inflation. But of course, what you did was exacerbate the problem because you got some productivity because of the illegal alien labor that shouldn't be employed, but you also got a bunch of other social issues that the taxpayers locally got to foot the bill for. This is why they're cutting resources in New York, Chicago, all over the place. You got Brandon Johnson talking about, oh, the rich got to pay their fair share, a complete idiot. I mean, why would you vote for a guy that got a mohawk, unironically, with gray hair? Listen, if I pop up one day with a mohawk on your TV screen, please call the police. I've been compromised. They didn't put a bug in my head. They didn't put the Elon chip in my forehead, and I don't know what's going on. If you see me with a mohawk on your TV screen, call the police. They got me. But for some reason, the residents of Chicago elected a mohawk mayor talking about make the rich pay their fair share. All you're going to do is just make everybody go broke in your city. Property tax. You're raising property tax, and that's going to be a tax on the rich. I mean, make it make sense. People can have property and not be rich. But anyway, so shout out to the migrants ruining society.
Right.
Now, this right here, I think I can agree with this, okay? We got a new leader in Syria who is asking something of Syrians all over the world. And I think this makes a lot of sense to a certain extent. Let's watch.
We must give it its right by restoring people's dignity and pride and by building it properly. The opportunities are available to us, and the people who have immigrated, who have sought asylum, who have been displaced, they must return. All these people must return so that hand in hand we can build the next Syria, God willing.
Since 2011, when the civil war erupted following Assad's deadly clampdown on anti-government protests, more than 6 million Syrians have fled the country. That's around a quarter of the population.
Right, we must give it.
Now look, okay, I got two things here. First, I'm getting Zelensky vibes. Is that how they dress in Syria? Why am I seeing a leader wearing a Zelensky outfit? That's number one. It's giving central booking. It's giving actor. Ain't that how y'all say it's giving? Yeah, I'm getting actor vibes right here, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being ignorant. But beyond that, hey, if you want the migrants from Syria to come back to Syria to build it back up, I say fantastic. Right on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hey. Have at it. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. I'm not mad at you. I'm sure not. I am not mad at you at all. All right. So yeah, that'd be a good thing. That'd be a fantastic thing. And really, not even to be funny, a lot of us have been saying that. It's like, hey, why don't you stay and build up your own country rather than come in here? Why not? And it's safe now, right? Ain't no more Al-Assad. Ain't no more Al-Assad. All right, go back now. It's safe. But I saw another video. They were like, nah, it's not safe. We ain't going to go back. Oh, it must not be safe because you in UK right now chilling, eating tea and crumpets. You ain't trying to go back to that hard living in the desert with no water. You want to be able to, kind of get it together. You wanted to get it together. All right. So let's keep on going here. This one out in San Diego about them becoming a super sanctuary. So, hey, if you are an illegal alien, and you've been accused of sexual assault, perhaps, child trafficking, things of this nature, you'll be protected by San Diego. They're not going to talk to the federales. Now, listen, if it's me and you're here illegally and you commit a crime, that's the opportunity to get you out right there because I may not have contacted you if you didn't commit a crime. You could be in the shadows, as they say. But if you exit the shadows and you go delete somebody, you attack a child or something like this, now I got you. Okay, what's your name? Javier Becerra. Whatever. Okay, cool. You're not coming up as legal. You're not here legally. Not a legal resident. So I'm on the phone, like the phone guy. I'm on the phone with the federales. Like, hey, we got one right here. Come get them right now. Send it back to X, Y, and Z country. Send it back to China. Send it back to Africa. Send it back to South America, Europe, wherever he came from. Send him back. We got you under crime. Why must we take our resources, as they're going to say a lot in this clip, why must we take our resources and have you on our system? We could just send you back to their system and let them deal with it. The same way that a lot of nations flushed the toilets of their country onto America. All the criminals, same way they did with the boat lift, right? And what was that, the 70s, 80s from Cuba, where they just gave us all their bad people from their prisons, people that were attacking kids. They just let them out on our soil. All right. So if we find any of them here, we're going to send them back. I think it's fair. Let's watch.
Good morning. My name is Simon Guzman. I use pronouns such as he, him, and él. I first want to thank Chair Vargas for introducing this brave measure here today.
Hey, shout out to my Hispanic homies, especially my Mexican homies. How do you feel about one of La Raza? How do you feel about them talking about my pronouns are he, him, and él? I would be offended if I was y'all, but let's keep on going. What if you said my pronouns are he, him, and la? Or so, what if you said my pronouns are she, her, and la? How would you feel about that?
We cannot allow county resources to be used to perpetuate hate against our neighbors.
It's time for San Diego County to follow the lead of 8 other California counties that have stopped using local resources for immigration enforcement.
I applaud you for choosing how we spend county resources locally.
We should be using our resources to support and not separate.
Now, one thing I'm noticing is that they're all reading from a sheet of paper. It's all the same sheet of paper. This yellow, everything is yellow. She got a yellow case on their phone. He has yellow like notebook type of thing. Yellow sign. They're all saying the same thing. They're reading a statement that's been presented to them. They probably were approached by NGO talking about, hey, check it out. Go to a city council meeting, read the sheet of paper, and we're going to pay you X amount of money to do it. If that happened, I would not be surprised.
To support and not separate families.
County resources should build families and not break them.
To stop using county resources.
That we are not using our own county resources to
use these resources for things we need, like housing, healthcare, and fighting for the climate crisis.
Some would prefer we spend our scarce resources.
This is a perfect example of how the sheriff's resources should be used.
As long as you continue to use county resources to torn our families apart.
Necesitamos que el condado de San Diego deje de utilizar los recursos del condado para deportar a los miembros de nuestra comunidad.
We need that the county of San Diego stops using the resources of the county.
The no resources talking point in Espanol, icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. Hey, if you did not hear our rehearsed, paid for talking point, the first 18 times, we're going to say it one more time for number 19, but in Espanol, so everybody understands what's going on. We cannot drain our county resources on dealing with the migrant crisis.
In order to deport the members of our community.
We need San Diego County to stop using county resources to deport our communities.
Look at all the county resources that people are using. Every single one of them.
Sir.
Every single one of our county resources are being used for the hotels, for the border, for all the bull. And you don't care about the county resources, do you? And there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Tom Homan. And when he figures out who the hell all you scumbags are, you're going to pay because you're forcing the human rights of the people in San Diego. We're not talking about regular illegal aliens. We're talking about criminal illegal aliens that are breaking the law, not regular Joes. Not average people, and you don't care about the resources, Nora Vargas. You all suck. I'm sick of it. You're all reading from the same fucking script.
Please, thank you.
You just read from the script. I want my headphones. Get my headphones.
Hey, get my headphones though. Come on, me get the Beats by Dre back. Come on now.
Get my headphones. It's all bullshit. You don't care about the resources. You don't care about the resources.
So there we go. Shout out to my main man out there for signing up for something. Shout out to him because, hey, hold on. Round of applause. shout out to him, because all of that, the resources nonsense, is BS. The hotels, all of the sources, they need everything. They get all kind of resources from the federal government, local government. Again, they get so many resources that they're having to cut city expenditures to be able to pay for it, strictly for the migrants. So yeah, it was most certainly a script that they're reading from. Now, all right, we got super chats on deck. Then I'm gonna get to the calls. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Again, I'm sorry for my man that I crashed out on earlier. But if any trolls want to smoke, not my man that said I was slow, not him. But if anybody else wants some smoke, I'm here for it tonight. It's all good. You can call, we can have a conversation. All right. Super chat. Thank you to Caius Proximus, who says, could the drones be a false flag to suspend the election? Well, the election already happened. You mean the inauguration? I mean, I don't think that that's going to be a thing that can happen. They're going to try to do that. If they try to do that, it'd be too obvious, because we're already skeptical right now. We're already saying, okay, what's going on with this? The government's behind it. So if they try to use that as a way to interfere with the election process being complete, meaning the inauguration, getting Trump in there, we already going to know that it's BS and we're not going to fall for it. That can cause civil unrest. So I don't foresee that happening. Thank you to Caius Proximus, who says, ABL, I hear the San Diego sheriff is not for the citizens. Well, it doesn't appear to be that way. Thank you to Caius Proximus, who says, is this like the strangest holiday ever or what? Yeah, for sure. Caius Proximus also says, does anyone have a goalkeeper on top of their house? Hey, that's a good question. Shout out to Ron Henderson, who says, faster than the speeding bullet, Super Trump Man of the Year. 100%. Dodged a sleeping bullet. Not sleeping bullet. Dodged a speeding bullet. He sure did. Thank you to Raven Moonbo, who says, subject of interest, U.S. Navy manta ray launching drones made by Petrodynamics. They have a website. Okay. Or Pterodynamics. Thank you to Who Done It and Why, who says, Trump is a little richer today. ABC to pay legal settlement and apologize. 100%. Thank you to Daniel, who says, Anthony, I knew SCOTUS, SDO, Bohemian Grove, Buzz, Edgar Mitchell, GE Exec, ML, John Bray, Croc, Rancho, Santa Fe, Southgate. We are an implosion of humanity. And Cole. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, that Duke lacrosse case ruined many lives. And now Krista Magnum admits to lying. She knew what she was doing. She got caught. And don't forget, Nifong, the DA, was disbarred for misconduct. Now, about the whole thing with the Duke lacrosse sexual assault case, and the girl came out and said that she did it, that she made the story up. I knew she was lying from the beginning. I knew what it was from the jump. Okay, I already knew what that was. That wasn't even a surprise. But she ruined many lives in that whole process. And for you guys who don't know, the woman in the matter of fact, I'm gonna show you that clip right quick to address it. If you guys have not really heard about it. All right. So back in, what was this, 2006, a woman alleged that she was raped by Duke lacrosse players. What happened was there was a frat party and she was a stripper and she was hired to do the party. Now, she says that they assaulted her at the party, but it was a lie. It was fake, but it didn't matter. Their lives are turned upside down. There was some racial dynamics there because she black and they're white and upper class kind of guys. So it was seen as that they were just abusing her because of her race and status in life. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on. But look, if you are a stripper and you got hired to do a party and they didn't assault you, then what are we talking about? Now, this woman is in jail right now, not because she lied on that, but because she deleted her boyfriend at the time, I think. And the woman just had issues from the start. She tried to delete one live-in boyfriend and she was not successful, but she didn't really get charged with a serious crime. She does it again like 3 years later and succeeds. Now she's in prison for doing that. So she has an attempt murder on one boyfriend, murdered the other one. This is all after the Duke lacrosse situation happened. But let's watch this.
And
let's get some sound a little bit. Start from the top.
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And
all right, so there we have it. There we have it. That's what's going on. Clearly the elevator not going all the way to the top floor. I'm not trying to say that because she's clearly mentally unwell that it's okay to do what she did. So don't get that confused. I'm not trying to give her an excuse, but obviously cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So why would you believe what she says? You know? But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you to It's Lanita who says this happened in Polk County. Sheriff Judd not having none of that. Exactly. Yeah. Sheriff Judd is not for any of the nonsense. Thank you to Devin who says, are preemptive pardons legal? Has it been done before? I'm not sure about the legality of it, but I don't think that they have been done before. All right. Thank you to Michael Critchlow who says, have you been following the downfall of Billy Carson? He's been on Joe Rogan and Patrick Bet-David spewing lies, but he was recently exposed as a fraud. I think I've been seeing Billy Carson pop up on my timeline, but I didn't know he was on Rogan. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you get guys that don't need to be on podcasts. Okay. Yeah, I've not ever watched anything. A lot of these. So what is Billy Carson? Is he a money guy? Can somebody tell me who Billy Carson is? I see him talking about Bible and all that kind of stuff on here. All right, hold on. I'm going to just read this on Joe Rogan. So this guy, Billy Carson, let me just read this right quick. Billy Carson is the founder and CEO of the media company Forbidden Knowledge, Incorporated, and first-class space agency and aerospace company focusing on alternative propulsion and zero-point energy devices. He's also the host of Forbidden Knowledge podcast and co-host of the Biohack Your Best Life podcast. I wouldn't take anything he says seriously at all. You got the Eye of Horus. Is that what it is right there? You got that on your shirt, which tells me Hotep woke. Shout out to the real Hoteps, but a guy like this comes off like he's fake. And then your company Forbidden Knowledge is spelled the number 4 BIDDEN knowledge. Off rip, I know you're not really serious. That's like if your company had an S on the end, but you put a Z on the end. I ain't taking you seriously. So I've never heard anything from that guy. Off rip, I could tell that he's not really, I could tell by looking at his face. I already know what it is. I'm not going to listen to anything he says. So I don't know how he was able to scam anybody. I don't get it. Like I knew, but I don't know. Sometimes I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to do that a lot, but most of the time I'm able to kind of see you immediately and know what's going on. He says he is God. Is that what he does? Like, man, all right. All right. Like, what are we talking about? Anyway, let's keep on going. Like, why would anybody trust that guy? I don't get it. You got a t-shirt with a blazer that got Eye of Horus on it. That automatically says scammer to me. It automatically, instantly. Thank you to Keith Griffey for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Blast Radius who says the Daniel Penny haters in comment section are a laugh because none of this wouldn't have happened if Neely weren't threatening passengers on the train. Tired of some black folks caping for criminals. Exactly. We got to stop that, man, in the community. We got to stop defending the criminals. If it's up to me, I could say, yo, any criminal, you get the ultimate. Let's go back and revitalize Joe Biden's crime bill for the criminals. For actual criminals, violent criminals, people like this, man, bit rocks, little rocks. That's what I say. Bit rocks, little rocks. You out here taking advantage of people, robbing them, scamming them, beating them. You want to crash out, slap old ladies in the face. That kind of thing was not tolerated when I was a young man. Like slapping the old lady, punching somebody's mom in the face, man. You would get deleted for doing stuff like that. The streets, if you do something like that in the streets, you would get deleted immediately. So we went from getting deleted for punching the old lady in the face in the street to defending a person who does that because they're black. I don't know how we got here, but here we are. Here we are. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says Stephanopoulos and Disney should pay. Stephanopoulos is a Democrat hack and a liar. And though he thought he could get away with this lie by hiding behind Iger's Disney, he should be fired. Yeah, he should have been out of there a long time ago, but you know who Stephanopoulos is. Stephanopoulos ain't nothing but a stooge for the Democratic Party, and he's been that way since the 1990s. Ain't nothing changed. His whole life career, imagine you are George Stephanopoulos and your entire identity is to be a stooge for the Democratic Party. I would be kind of embarrassed if that was my life, but it is what it is. Thank you to Raven Moonbo, says ABL, Manta Ray launches them, drones produced by Terror Dynamics. Pull up their website, brother. Okay. Let me just Google this right quick. Terror Dynamics. Terror Dynamics. Okay. So here is what I was told to look at right now. Okay. Can we have the website work? Terror Dynamics designs superior autonomous VTOL aircraft that fly faster and go farther to reach remote locations without runways, even in harsh conditions. Okay. Now, it says Navy delivery and venture investment in 2022, Department of Defense contract. So this is something that has been sold to the U.S. government, correct? That's what I would say. Now, it says fifth generation transwing and expand to commercial sector in 2023. So are we seeing the commercial? So awarded Air Force contract for fourth generation transwing aircraft and development of fifth generation transwing aircraft, 21-foot wingspan. So have they expanded already to the commercial market? Are these available? Where can I buy? Hey, where can I buy that right there? Can I go to Bob's Gun Store? Can I go to the convenience store, Alejandro Mayorkas, and buy that? Can I go to 7-Eleven and holla at Apu and get a 21-foot drone to put in the sky? How am I going to fuel that? How am I going to fly that? How am I going to get any kind of clearance to do that? How do I know what the appropriate light patterns are as a civilian to be able to put up and have FAA regulations? $500,000 each. So these drones cost $500,000 each. And there were 50 of them that came from the water, but there's no mothership. It's a hobbyist and not a threat. Okay, government. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Yeah, Quickie Mart. Hey, I'm going to go to Quickie Mart and get that, Alejandro Mayorkas. This man said convenience store. Bro, I understand these little baby drones you might be able to buy at Best Buy. We talking about we be talking about 4 King Ranches, 4 F-350 King Ranch in the sky, hovering with no noise. We talking about that. We ain't talking about something you get as a toy from Apu and all of them. Billy, why would anybody trust a guy? Wait a minute. An Eye of Horus on your t-shirt with a blazer over it? Bro, you looking like you just hustling. You're just from the street and you're hustling. You're not really serious. Anyway, shout out to PAS 2020 who says drones coming in from information to Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Day, and the military will not be responding. You can count on it. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. And if that does happen, you already know what it is. It's the government doing that. Decade of Raven Moonbo says these drones are taking air samples, checking for radiation, also doing tests for overseas deployment. Terror Dynamics is a company that makes these. Thank you to Carrie Ray for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says thoughts on the OnlyFans model who recently slept with 100 men and cried afterwards, but now wants to sleep with 1,000 men just to break her record. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, if you participate in that with that woman, then you're setting yourself up for a big problem in the future. I would not do that if I were you. Do not come within 1,000 feet of that woman. Leave her alone. If she had 100 men in a day or whatever that was, break her record and started crying and, oh, I'm the victim. If she did all that, but then said I want 1,000, why would you do that knowing that she reacted negatively to the first time? And if she reacts negatively, that could put you in a bad space if you're one of the guys who were involved. You consented, everything was fine, signed a contract, and you filmed it. But now, oops, I regret it. Now you did something. You assaulted me. I was looking at comments that said that she got assaulted. How? How did she get assaulted when she went and promoted this? She participated in it willingly. And after you had 100 people in one day, so maybe after number 5, you'd be like, you know what? This might have been a bad idea. I don't want to do this no more. You did 100 people, and it's your thing that you put on, and you want to do another one. Stay away from that woman. Please, I beg you. Please, please, please. And whatever kind of fire you're going to get is going to burn for eternity. Hey, the fire you're going to get from that situation is going to burn for all of eternity. Thank you to Martin Santiago, who said, so ABL here in Thailand right now. Boy, oh boy, is the way of life different out here. Super cheap. Did you know they had a king and super corrupt politics out here? They had a 2016 Bernie and establishment unified to beat him. 33 THB dollars, I suppose, equals $1. LOL, peace. Shout out to Thailand. Shout out to Thailand, man. I might have to go out there. But hey, I tell you what, I don't want to do with no lady boys, man. So you got to put me in the right direction. Okay, look, I don't want to be in the beach out there in Phuket and be talking to a young lady, and then somebody say, hey, you know what, that's actually his name is something else. That's not the female name, and the female appearance is not the reality, is something else. I don't want to get caught up like that. So I like being right here in Atlanta. Let me just be out here and do it regular stuff. Okay. At least in Atlanta, I know the big 8-foot tall bull dagger or drag queen is a man. But over there, I don't know what's going on. I might get a little confused at first. And I ain't trying to have to go investigate no equipment to really figure out what's going on. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got calls on deck. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's right there in the ticker, 434-658-1220. The number is also always in the description box. There's also an email for Skype in the box, so you could be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen talking about whatever's going on politically. Alrighty. Cooking with Kaya. Yeah, I saw that too. I gotta get back on my Uncle ABL stuff. I gotta do the Cooking with Kaya story, the other story about the lady that had 1,000 people or whatever. I got to do those stories. Let's check it out. And let me get my sound together first. There we go. Perfect. Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Steve again. I called last week. I wanted to comment on the Lily Phillips thing. And I wanted to say that, you know, the dudes that participated in the Lily Phillips thing, they're beyond dumb. Like they sold themselves short. Like they could have waited for like something more meaningful, because some of them were probably single men, and so like I don't know, like I don't think she should have done the whole 100 men thing, and I certainly don't. Like if I was a dude and I had the chance to participate, I don't think I would have participated either. And then the other thing too is, technically, before she announced the thing for 1,000 men, she had already planned a 300 men get together on December 15th. So that's like tomorrow-ish. So like if she does get this 1,000 men thing in January or February, her body count would technically be 1,400 people. Like that is like so like just like nasty, like beyond nasty. Like I'm like a 25-year-old and I still haven't even had a girlfriend, and this woman has had, by February, March, she's gonna have way over 1,000 bodies under her belt. Like she really, men should really be like saving themselves. We all should have some self-respect for each other, like for ourselves, not to be like doing that.
Yeah, I mean the 1,000 people or whatever the number is, it's a big number and it's a problem, but the biggest problem is how she treats herself. If she has no self-respect, then how is she going to respect you?
Right. And I feel more like sad for her. Like I feel sorry for her more than anything else. Like I feel as if like she doesn't really talk about much in the documentary regarding her childhood. She just says that she had a normal childhood, but I just don't think she had a normal childhood because most people that ended up in the porno industry, they were somehow abused in the past. So like I will like convince me otherwise, but like I will never ever like if I ever had a chance, I will never like stand in that line. And if I even got a chance to meet her, I would try to get her to get some self-respect for herself. Like I could not do that. And yes, body count matters because that's just wrong on so many levels, like
Yeah, I understand. I mean, that like again, the main thing is how she treats herself, how she respects herself. If she doesn't respect herself, you're not really going to be able to have a meaningful relationship with her. That's pretty much a damaged person that you want to avoid.
yeah. And I think I would avoid her for like ever. Like I never want to see her in person. And I pray that she does get some like self-respect for herself and that she repents of this and that she realizes what she's doing is wrong because I can't stand like the fact that she doesn't even respect herself like that. And I would urge other women out there and around the world to please have self-respect for yourselves. Don't sleep around and don't make pornography online because the money isn't worth it at the end of the day. Okay? You should care more about your soul and your dignity. And if you care more about your soul and your dignity, I think people will like you more as women out there and they'll respect you for having morals. So I really think I really hope that she does start like gaining some self-respect for herself. Like this is and her mother is literally like managing the business aspect of it. Like her mother, like if I was her mother, I would be so ashamed. Like her mother should be like ashamed of herself. Really, she should.
I agree with you, man. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yep. It was nice talking to you too.
Likewise. All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, that's an Uncle ABL topic right there. I got to get back on that. So shout out to you guys. That's a story that I've been seeing quite a bit. That is but what he said was right on point. Shout out to the young man, 25 years old. I remember those days. That's like a whole lifetime away, 15 years ago. 770, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
This is CJ.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh, I was just calling just to about the drones.
Yes.
Okay. I was just calling just to let you know about the drones. I remember when I was putting in for a job about a month or so ago, and it was just awfully strange. I got an email telling me to Teams, it was like Teams, this company, and they was telling me that they was under the drones, so they was recruiting for drones. And I was just like, So we were going like back and forth like in an interview process and things like that. And then they started asking me like some extensive information about myself and, like your social, all kind of stuff, little things like that. So then after the interview was going on, I was like, So then I just started to feel uncomfortable because I was just like, drones, what's going on with that? So then now, since everything's coming out, it was just like, oh, okay. So now they was recruiting for drones, I guess, for employment for what's going on now, probably. So I was just like, So I just wanted to share that because with everything going on, I was just like, okay, now it makes sense when they was trying to recruit for the job.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense now.
So, yeah. So that's really it. I just wanted to touch on to just put that out there,
Well, Well, thank you for the call.
All right. Thank you, ABL. Appreciate you. And keep doing what you're doing. Stay with True News. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, it makes a lot of sense. Now, we're starting to see things that are coming out. We're going to hear a lot of stories about, oh, well, this happened and that happened. We're going to hear a lot more things like that. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. 406 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, Brian Stacey, ABL? What fears me is that they're so desperate to hang on to power that they're trying to scare us with all these things. And I find it a desperate attempt to cling on to what sort of power that they lied to us about this entire time.
Yeah, the fear-mongering tactics, they're not working. They're not going to work anymore. They tried it. They tried it this time. That was a big part of their campaign, and it didn't work. So I would suggest to them to try and do something else.
Yes, sir. I'll let you go on that one, my friend, but that's kind of where I'm at. Thank you, ABL.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
You bet. Good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, all the scare, all the fear-mongering, that ain't working no more. They tried that during this campaign. Trump's this, Trump's that, this, that, and the third. Okay, great, but we're still going to vote for him. 812, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, man. My name's Cameron. Hey, I just honestly wanted to call and say of how I personally find it funny as hell of how Trump actually did become president, because back in, 2004, I was a high schooler as a sophomore, and I wrote a book report explaining why I thought we needed to have Donald Trump to become president in order to fix our country, because him as a businessman, he's able to see things and look at things and see what it will become 20, 30 years down the road that normal people, even especially politicians, wouldn't even bat an eye at. And it's just, I personally find even especially the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, that the media has, it's just getting funnier and funnier by the day, honestly.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like the TDS is crazy, and it's funny because it's like I'm looking at him like, are you okay? Is everything all right? Like I'm not really buying it. I'm just kind of feeling like something's wrong with you.
Like, I honestly feel sad for him in a way, because it's like you're sitting there considering to mutilate your body of these females that are taking parts of their organs out in order not to have children just because Donald Trump's president. What? Because you can't wear a condom? I'm like, it's really interesting to see how they think and the way that they just approach life. It's just it's almost sad, pathetically sad in a way.
Right on, absolutely.
But I've always said ever since I was a teenager of how I don't understand why we have the tax system, and I've always forecasted or almost seen it, if we ever were able to accomplish that it's got so much possibility of what it can do for our country to totally fix it. And I honestly can't wait to see what Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk do to what they're going to do.
Oh, it's going to be great. I can't wait. Like, and you know, the proof is in the pudding. Like, we see what Elon Musk did with Twitter, cut 90% of the staff, and the app is now better than ever. But we see what Kamala did as far as spending $2.5 billion and winding up being $20 million in debt and losing. We see how each side handles finances, and that'll be what they do in the future.
Oh yes, and what's so sad is how they're able to say of how they don't know where these billions or all these trillions of dollars mysteriously went. It's like, how in the hell, like, how is that even possible that they're able to do that? Because of the way the tax system is and the way that money is managed and almost, mismanaged in a way. Pardon me. But, it's real sad how the system truly has become, or the way the money, the way the the money is and the way I've just never been able to understand that.
Right, I'm with you, man. Well, I thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Most certainly, man. Well, you have a wonderful day, and hopefully we can truly make America great again and fix this darn world on top of that. But you have a blessed night, man.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Certainly. Mm-hmm.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 803. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 803, hello.
Hey, sorry, I had to pause the video. My name's Eric.
All right, man, what's going on?
Hey, I just have to disagree with you on the having sex with 100 males or something. Like, I love your content and stuff, but I would love to be one of those guys to do it with her, you know.
Why?
I don't find anything wrong with. I don't know. It's just I don't find anything immoral or anything. You know, it's just pleasure. You know.
So you don't know why you want to do it?
No, it just feels good. You know.
So you do know why you want to do it?
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but why was somebody that, like, so you want to be one of 100 or 1,000 in one day? You're not worried about any kind of diseases. You're not worried about anything. You're just going like, hey, I'm going to just do it.
Well, I mean, I assume they're tested, you know.
You assume you're going to kind of gamble with your life like that? You're going to put your life in another man's hands or in her hands?
Hey, man. You know,
I mean, they got protection. They got protection, but guess what? Though HIV can go through a condom. Did you know that?
Hey, you know, you only live once.
Oh, hey, man. Hey, it's your life, man. Do what you want to do. Now, here's the other thing about it, though. You saw that she was crying after the first 100, didn't you? You saw that, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when she says, you know what? I feel like I was assaulted, and I feel like the man who did it took advantage of me. It doesn't matter if she consented, if there's a contract, a verbal agreement, all caught on videotape. Her saying that now puts you in jeopardy as being someone who took advantage of her. So do you want that for your life?
No.
So you still want to do it?
I mean, it just depends on the situation. Like,
but hold on, you just said no, you don't want to have that happen to you. So you were able to answer that definitively. But then when I say, do you still want to do it, knowing that you don't want to have happen to you, you kind of hemming and hawing like you don't really know. So which is it?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. All I'm saying is, if I had an invitation for that, I would take it, you know.
All right, man. But look, I told you there's pitfalls to it. The health risk, you're not really worried about that. You don't care about your physical body. But how about potentially being locked up, potentially being seen as an assaulter, potentially being seen as a person that's undesirable for your future relationships? Are you married? You got kids or anything? Are you a single man?
Single, no kids. Yeah.
Do you want a family in the future?
Sure. Yeah.
So what's going to happen when your wife and her family at the Thanksgiving table say, "Hey, ain't this you right here in this video with this woman, one of 1,000? You got your pants down in line right behind another man. Ain't that you right there?" What are you going to do when that happens? And then the whole wedding gets called off and everything else. You're thinking about momentary pleasures, but you're not worried about the future.
Well, I probably don't see myself ever getting married.
You seem unsure.
I see myself as always being single.
You seem unsure because I just asked you if you wanted to have a family in the future. You said yes, but now you say
I do, but I am just being realistic with you.
I mean, but I asked you the question and you said yes. If you're being realistic, then you should have said no. You seem unsure because you're not really rock solid in your answers. I can ask you one question one way, you answer it one way. Actually, the same thing a different way, you answer it a different way. So I would just say before you do something like that, be secure with who you are as a person and know what you want to do, because that's a big decision to make. But hey, it's your life, man. Make your own decisions. I'm just saying, be informed about what you want to do for yourself in the future before you do something like that. Does it make any sense?
It does make sense. And I want to thank you, ABL. I listen to you all the time. I know I'm not, I don't agree with everything, but thank you for what you do. I listen to you all the time. So thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to my nephew calling in. You know, I get a lot of young guys, man. I just try to teach. I try to educate. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do, because I know a lot of times, especially young people, you say, hey, don't do that, and they want to go do it just on GP out of spite. That's fine. But I'm just trying to give you guys some information. You don't want to be lacrosse case situation. You don't want to have your life turned upside down. You don't want to have that happen to you because something you could have avoided. Momentary pleasure for a lifetime of pain. And you only got one life to live, so why would you want to damage your life like that? You know, I want to do everything I can to make my life easier, not to put more roadblocks and unnecessary challenges in my life. You see? Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 310. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Ron from Georgia, ABL. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay, man. Wow. That last caller, bruh, he need to get a grip. Nope, don't want to be in that line. That's a nasty line to be in.
It is.
Oh, man. That's a rough one there. But you're telling straight. Man, I tell you, this week has been a doozy, man. What's up with the Biden administration? They want to go ahead and just try to do everything to try to mess things up. They want to go out with a bang, selling defense. They don't want to defend our country. You know, don't want to tell us anything. You know, we still want to keep the gaslight going, and yet. You know, we got everybody up, but we definitely can't get Biden out there because he can tell us anyway. He's not running he's not running nothing anyway. Right now, he's asleep. He's asleep at the wheel. And Kamala too. She's asleep too. She's crying in her soup. So, you know, it's just a sad state, man. But, you know, we got people just stepping up. We got other governors and everything. They're going to be buying the border fence. They in line ready to buy the fence too, and say, give it right back to Trump. Say, here, man, go ahead, keep it going. You know, let's get to see the thing built. I didn't know they had that much material out there. Man, they had a whole ocean full of material out there. It's crazy. I didn't know they had all that stuff out there, and he just let it just sit there for the past 4 years. Man, I tell you, man, you talking about wasting money. That's a waste of money, and not only that, they're wasting money just shipping that stuff in. Shipping it to get over there to get $5 per mile. Come on now, what's up with that? What's wrong with our people? You know, that's the thing about it. It's not their money, it's my money. It's your money. It's our money that they're wasting, and that's why they don't care. But you know what? I can't wait for Doge, just like what you said. I can't wait for Doge to go into effect. Let's cut out all this here fat. Let's get all our money back. Like I said, it's time to recall all our money, and I can't believe that they released another, $88 billion back to Iran and everything just before just after they heard that it might be them doing stuff off the coast, and yet they sending $8 billion more over there. Come on now. Like I said, they're doing everything they can to keep this thing going. So I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. In America, we should be sick of this stuff too. But you know what? We're still praying. We're still going to get things going, brother. It's happening. We're counting down the days. We have 30-something more days to go. Can't wait for January 20th because that's when America could really start saying, hallelujah, let's go. It's time to get rolling because I tell you, the optimism is in the air. I feel it. You know, this holiday season is different than last year. Even with the high prices, the way things are, I'm glad I'm not buying a lot of things, but praise God. But the things I do see, and the smiles on people's faces, people are greeting everybody, even in the stores. They're greeting everybody. They're looking more happy in their face. They're even happy pumping their gas. You know what I'm saying? And people smiling. You know, but but America is on the upswing, and the climate is so much better right now. You know, in the mindset, except for the ones that's totally demented. Can't help them. Can't fix stupid. But praise God. But the ones that we can, it's gonna be all right. Beloved, I tell you, ABL, you just keep on doing what you're doing, man. We love you out here. You know, the chat crew, everybody out there in the chat. You guys are awesome. I just love you guys. You just take care of yourself, okay, my friend?
Will do, man. Thank you for your call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate you too, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Great call as always. You guys are the best. If I ain't tell you today, you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Y'all already know that. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 904. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Nikki from Florida.
All right, man. What's going on?
First of all, I just want to say your post on X about the tornado cleaning up all the doo-doo on the streets of San Francisco was pretty funny.
Thank you.
I did see that a tornado actually did touch down. I don't know where it touched down at, but it was in California. So, but yeah, that was a funny post there. I wanted to ask you what you thought about Donald Trump wanting to end daylight savings time, and what he said is actually that it costs us a lot of money, and I don't really know how it costs us money, but I do know it is very inconvenient. That's one of the things he said.
Well, I think it's a good idea, first of all, to cancel daylight savings time, because every time that I got to take that hour back, my immediate reaction is whoever made this be a thing needs to get waterboarded immediately. That's that's my reaction all the time. So I'm in favor of it going away. Now, I don't know specifically how it costs money, but I could guess that there's a bunch of medical costs that come up as a result of daylight savings time, because that hour lost results in a bunch of heart attacks and whatnot the next day. Like, that's a big thing. People are used to getting up at a certain time for work, and then they lose an hour, so their whole body rhythm is turned off, and a lot of times their heart has issues dealing with that lost hour, so it's a lot of heart attacks. So that could be a reason. As far as other things, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do know. I'm a programmer, so I do know in the programming world, it's always been a headache because, computer systems have to adjust for that all the time. So, and I know you're a little bit into the tech world, so you might understand that side of it a little bit too.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thanks, ABL. Love watching your show. Have a great night, friend.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, man. Daylight savings time, man. Whoever made that need to get waterboarded. I hate whenever I lose that hour. I hate the daylight savings time so much. I got triggered at the fall DST, but I forgot that you get an hour. But I'm just don't like losing that hour. My goodness, that's like the worst thing in this world. That hour getting lost, man. I can't even really put it into words, man. All right, so let's go to 707 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. You're talking to Margie from Northern California. I just want to say great show as always, but if I may, I'd like to talk about the lady from Lakeland. For one thing, I got to say my brother lives in Lakeland, so he tells me there's crazy things going on there, but or maybe it's just him knowing him. But I want to say this applies to so many different things. The government is going to always have one response, and that's going to be to shut whatever's down, change the status quo, do whatever. And even if you are stupidly innocent, you're going to be hung out like a coyote pelt by the federal farmers, to give the other coyotes kind of like a lesson of like Christmas yet to come, some of that stuff. So it's like the J6ers. They were just naive. They went in, they got served up And this is more of the same. Don't go for that bait, folks. You know, you're the low-lying fruit. What do you think you're actually going to change? You're not. And the people you're cranking, they're the low-level people. They're like you, mainly. You're not getting to the people that you should be getting to speak your policies. And that's what I want to say for the new year, people. Don't go crazy. Don't, get emboldened by bad things happening. Yeah, you may feel like it's retribution, but really that acidity is going to splash back on your character. It's going to rip you a new one, and you don't know where it's going to end. So that's what I'm saying. And as far as Nancy Pelosi, I think it's kind of ironic that she took a fall down the staircase kind of like Trump's wife did, but she's having a better outcome, that's for sure. I mean, his ex-wife did, but I think it's kind of, something out of House of Cards, too, where Kevin Spacey's character pushed somebody. So, I don't know. It's just kind of ironic that these people that were deep in it are kind of getting their comeuppance, like Mitch McConnell, like they're getting slapped down in front of us, I don't know if it's divine retribution, and I'm not taking anything but notice, no joy, but I'm watching it, because you can do both. But we are living in interesting times, and wishing you nothing but the best, ABL, all the people out there, and give this man a like. I thank you, and got nothing else really to say, but thanks a lot.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Great call. Shout out to the caller. 215, hit on line. Who am I speaking to? I'm probably a little too slow for the trigger on that one. Let's go to 860. Get on line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony. Come on, brother. It's F&A Ranger Xbox, or you can just call me out.
All right, man. What's going on?
Well, I just want to tell everybody, just calm down about the drones and stop trying to shoot them down out of the sky. They're intelligence gathering assets by the U.S. military. I'm not in the military. I just have a good brain, and I like to use it. And what they're doing is a search and clear. They got surveillance packages on those things. Don't worry about it. You ain't going to hide nothing from them boys. So just leave them alone. We got X amount of illegal aliens in the country. They don't know what they've been up to for the past 3 years, and they're just checking it out before Trump hits the neighborhood. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
that makes. I live in Connecticut.
That makes sense.
And they're going over the Groton sub base too.
See, that makes sense. But hold on, that makes sense. But why not just tell us that?
Well, they have packages for anything that might be radiating or particle detections. If there's any, abstract means of war, shall we say, that may be laying around someplace, ready to go off.
Uh-huh.
So they're just clearing the area.
Okay.
Is what I believe they're doing. And I don't know why they just don't tell people that, because the American public can handle that. We just haven't been attacked the way Europe and Asia. And oh my God, Anthony, you don't have to worry about ladyboys in Thailand and the Philippines all that much. I mean, my wife's half Filipino. We had this one night with a whole table full of ladyboys right behind us, and I was laughing and joking with them. It's a different culture. It's way different. They're much more fun to be around. They really are. But me being a Florida boy in Connecticut, these people are crazy. But one thing I would like to point out that I do is every time I'm in Walmart and I see a little black girl with her hair all done up, I go up and make a big deal out of her, how pretty she is and how wonderful her hair is. So that way, people can't tell her, the white man thinks you're ugly, because she ain't never going to believe that, because every time I see them, I'm going to tell them how pretty they are and how much they look like my little girl. So, Anthony, I'm going to let you go with that. Y'all, stop spreading the hate. Spread a little love. My black friends don't need a participation trophy. They're just American. God bless America. Take care. Let's get our country back. Hooah! Airborne Rangers, lead the way. Hooah!
My man, FNA Ranger Xbox never disappoints. Shout out to my man. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go. 951. You know who am I speaking to?
Hello, my Alex. I'm sorry. Let me pause your video. Yes, I'm ready. Hello, my name is Alex. I'm a U.S. Army veteran from California. I'm surprised to be speaking with you. I'm a little bit caught off guard. I apologize.
Oh, it's all good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, so I've been listening for a while, and I've also been observing and paying attention to other news. And I have my own opinions on basically every topic. So again, I'm an Army veteran. I served for 6 years from 2006 to 2012, the height of Afghanistan and Iraq. And when I got out, I left the country and I lived in Vietnam for 10 years. This kind of gave me a different perspective seeing the country from outside during Trump's first presidency and the strong economy that he led. The first thing that I think is really important that I want to discuss, or not really discuss, but just maybe bring up, because I know that you have a lot of calls. So I supported Donald Trump, and I still do. But I'm worried. I'm worried that his supporters have such a strong fervency for him that he's a human and that he may make mistakes. And that when he does make mistakes, I worry that no one will be allowed to let him know that he's making a mistake. I've seen people like Charlie Kirk and others who I agree with for the most part. And again, I support like Vivek and BP Vance. I love these guys individually. But the movement and the fervency, I hope that people will allow for Trump to be human and make errors, and for there to be a support team around him to make correction when it needs to happen. And I hope that he doesn't become a deity. That's my worry. When he won the election, I was really happy. But the energy that's behind him, again, just my only hope is that we allow for correction when it needs to happen. Otherwise, he becomes a deity, and we stand a big risk if we allow for a deity to lead us, because he's human and he will err. And I'll pause at that and just wait for a response from you, sir.
Well, is that your call, or you wanted to just have me respond while you off the call?
Anything at all, sir. Just respectfully. My worry that I wanted to voice just to you and your audience is that I love all the individuals behind Donald Trump, and I totally agree with the energy and the passion. But just that I want to allow for caution from everyone who is supporting this in reminding that we are all human and that we all err, and that one of the greatest strengths in having a team behind us is having a team that is strong enough to show us our errors and correct us when we need it. And I just wanted to bring that up, and if you have any response, then I'd love to hear it, whether that's while I'm on the phone with you or whether it's as I'm listening to you. I'm a little bit just struck because I've tried for maybe a couple of months to get a hold of you, and this is the first time. So I'm a little shaken. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right, man. Well, thank you for your call. I answer your call off of the call. Thank you for your call.
All right. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. So the question was, or the concern was, about Trump becoming a deity and people just ignoring whatever he does because he's Trump and everybody loves him. I think that we're kind of beyond that. I don't think that any of us here are just going to let Trump do whatever he wants to do because he's Trump. The reason why we love Trump so much is because he's responsive to what the American people want. Just like this whole thing with the drones. Okay, we're not getting any answers from the government, although they clearly know what it is and they're just lying to us, they're gaslighting us. What does Trump say? He echoes our sentiment saying, hey, we could do one or two things. we could shoot it out of the sky, and or we need to tell the American people what's going on. That's what we've all been saying. Now, if he was to have a different response to that, I think we would say that we don't agree with a different response. I understand your concern, but I think what has made Trump so loved is that he listens to what we have to tell him. He's not going to do everything perfectly, and we understand that. But we're still going to express our viewpoints. My viewpoint and all of our viewpoints are not going to change because of what Trump does. You see? 215 hit online. What's speaking to?
Hello, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Yeah. So, what was the one? Damn it. Don't you just hate when you lose your train of thought for a split second? Oh, yeah. The drone situation. So, basically, I woke up this morning and I'm just seeing on the news, it's a whole bunch of drones going on in the sky. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little late to this. So, do you know if they still figured out what's going on or they're still trying to investigate it?
They are not telling us what's going on.
Okay, yeah.
They say that it's not a threat. Hold on. They say it's not a threat, but they don't know what it is. How do you know it's not a threat if you don't know what it is? That don't make no sense.
Yep, that makes perfect sense what you just said. Because I did hear about that earlier. They said that, and you did mention it early, just now in the live. You said, yeah, they're just lying to us and gaslighting.
Correct.
Trying to gaslight us. And they don't know what it is. And wait, are they like, is it just, like I said, I just found out about the drone stuff today. Did it just happen today? I gotta look it up.
It's been, yeah, you could look it up. It's been going on for a while, quite a while, really for weeks now, but it's been really popular in news for about a week and some change, maybe, but it's been happening for longer than that.
Oh, yeah, because I know the CEO assassination has been dominating the news, and now this drone story is starting to pick up steam.
Right, correct.
And one thing I wanted to touch on, I wanted to ask you this question, ABL. Now, hypothetically speaking, say if Joe Biden, the way he's giving out pardons, what would you think would happen if Joe Biden actually pardoned Derek Chauvin?
That'd be something. I don't think that he will, but that'd be very interesting. I don't think that the media would want to highlight it. They might try to hide it because people might be upset.
Yeah, that makes sense because it goes against. Now, I was just asking, a hypothetical question because I was thinking about that. I said, what if he accidentally pardons Derek Chauvin? That would be something interesting. But like you said, they're going to want to hide it because it goes against the whole narrative of everything they were saying before.
Right, of course.
And it would just, because to me, that would be a political firestorm that most of the Democrats would never be able to recover from if they were to do something like that.
Right.
Yeah. And last thing, now I'm just following everything that's going on in Syria. I'm just trying to see how that plays out. So I was just like, oh, just another Middle Eastern conflict. Hopefully when Trump gets back in office, everything will calm down to a certain extent. That's all I'm hoping for. And we stop sending money overseas because I just saw not too long ago, I think they send another $50 billion to Ukraine.
Man, they keep sending billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. At this point, I don't lost count because what's the purpose in counting when they're going to continue to send more?
Yeah, I said the exact same thing too, what you just said. There's no point in keeping count because they're just going to keep doing it.
Right, of course.
Yeah. But thanks for taking my call. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right. You have a good one.
Same to you. Hey, somebody just asked me, how do I type? Well, look, how do I type while staring at the screen? Is that a real question or are you just joking? I took a little thing called keyboard in class. I can type without having to look at the keys and hunt and peck like Pawpaw and them did. That's funny. Let's keep on going here. Let's go to 216. Shit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on? This is Don from Cleveland, 216.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? All right, so first things first, the drone situation. Okay. 100% they're not government issue.
Now, why do you believe that?
Well, it's not so much of a belief, it's more of a knowing. I can't really get into it too deep, but I will say this. It's a lot going on that we don't know about. The government do know about. Trump do know about. They can't release. Okay, let me just say it like this. The government doesn't want us to believe that there is anything out here more powerful than they are. So when we see these things, I called you actually a year ago, and I brought you to the attention of what happened in 1942, California, the Battle of Los Angeles, when they was trying to shoot down the one thing that you want to so-called, quote-unquote, call a drone, but they tried to shoot it down, and all the bullets fell back down onto the earth. So that's why they can't shoot these things down. These are the babies. There is a mothership, but they have absolutely no control of that. But that's what they don't want to tell the public. They're afraid to let the public know that. And when Trump gets in, he's going to be able to connect the people to exactly who they are, where they're coming from, etc. That's not so much of my opinion, but I guess the world will see.
So are we dealing with something that comes from Earth?
They're from Earth.
Okay.
UFOs are from Earth. They're not from outer space.
Gotcha.
They're more so of the inner Earth. That's a whole other topic. I don't really, but I got just a lot of information on this stuff, man. So, but yeah, just to keep it short, yeah, they're from the inner Earth, man. This is it's bigger than what we think, man. Way bigger than what we think.
All right, well, I'm ready for the disclosure, man. Like I'm ready. Like at this point, I'm not scared. Whatever it is, I'm ready for it. You know, if God came back from the sky and landed right in my front yard, I wouldn't be scared. So I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted to drop. That's all. That's it.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, man. If God come back tonight and be right at my front porch with a sign talking about, "Hey, my son, not coming back," I'm like, all right, come on, let's go ahead. Let's do it. All right, let's go. 360. You don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Vince out of Washington. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Hey, not too bad. Hey, I just I wanted to get your opinion. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for bringing the Saturday night news and pulling people together. But the second thing that I wanted to bring up was what is your opinion? So my thought process on this is a little questionable. With Elon Musk being part of Doge, I feel like he's probably got some government contracts, probably has, some personal ties to reasons why he wants to bring Doge, and make this happen. I get it, environmentally reasons and for all of the reasons why he would want to, but what is your take on that? Because in the sense, to me, I really like Elon and I really like what he does, but I also question the motive behind it. So it's kind of a catch-22. What is your thoughts on that?
What's your question specifically?
Well, I guess specifically it would be: do you feel like it's corporate working with government in order to obtain more subsidies?
So your
ability
question.
to.
I got you. So your question is: do I think Elon is trying to be part of Doge to help himself financially?
Yeah, in a sense, yes. But like I said, I respect Elon and I respect what he does. My question is he's the only one that I feel like might have a personal interest in being a part of this administration.
I mean, the thing is,
and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, is that a bad look?
I got you. I'm answering your question. I think that he could benefit from it, but that's not a bad thing because we can all benefit from it. If Elon Musk comes in there and is able to strip $2 trillion from government spending, that helps the entire nation. So, of course, but not only Elon, but every other executive, every other American. Yeah. And the thing is, I wouldn't be mad at it. If it helped him financially and it also helped me financially, I wouldn't be mad because it helped him. I wouldn't just want it to be for me and not for Elon Musk. I want it to be for everybody. So I understand your concern, but I think the greater issue is, does this help Americans? Will cutting $2 trillion in spending of my taxpayer money help me? I think the answer is yes.
Yes, I agree. And but I've had this one little thing in the back of my mind about this whole scenario, and that is how I think about it as well. But I wonder how other Americans feel about it as well. I just wanted to ask your opinion because it has been questionable in my opinion, and like, well, what I know that we're all going to gain from this administration based on what we're seeing right now, but I just wanted to get that little tidbit out there because I feel like that is the one thing that is made me think is like, are we doing something wrong here by doing this or not? By having him involved in the administration?
I think that we'll be fine.
I agree, and I like that they put an 18-month term on it. So
hey, that'd be great. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, man. But thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Same to you. All right. So shout out to my man. Yeah, I understand that there could be a concern, but I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. If it does help Elon, if it does help Tesla, so what? If it helps them, but it helps me, then that's a win-win. If it's just a one-sided thing to where only Elon Musk benefits and the American people suffer, then I would be against it. But cutting $2 trillion in spending is cutting $2 trillion in spending. So I think that'd be helpful for all of us. And I don't think that the administration would allow spending to be cut from places where it is essential. But when you cut spending from unnecessary places, when you cut pet projects and wasteful job expenditures, when you cut that spending, that's going to benefit all Americans. So, all right, that'll be a wrap for me. It's a little late. I don't want to be up too late. If you couldn't get on tonight, I'm sorry, Blended White Man. It ain't my fault. But I'll be black. I'll be black. I'm always be black. But I'll be back on Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, doing a live stream with call-ins and everybody else, everything else. And of course, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, including Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And also what we got Rumble. I am on Rumble. If you guys have not checked it out, please do so. Rumble is live. Locals is live next, but Rumble is live right now. Can I show that right quick? Let me show it right quick. We got 598 followers. Shout out to you guys for following the page. Okay, let's get it up to 600 followers. Let me put it on the screen right quick for you guys. Let's get Rumble to 600 tonight. Let's get it to 1,000 by the end of the year. By the time the clock strikes midnight on December 31st, let's go ahead and get it to 1,000. That's the goal. And when I keep going and going and going, you can find me, search Anthony Brian Logan on Rumble. You see I'm verified. So that is me 100% right there. Check me out on Rumble. And of course, I'm everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, of course. You see me right here, right now. I'm everywhere. And on your favorite audio streaming platform. Plus, Uncle ABL is coming back. I got to come back. Listen, I've been so busy doing a bunch of other stuff, side quests, podcasts, all that kind of stuff. To do that podcast, to go do Hot Twins podcast, I had to go to Vegas. So I got to drive 2 hours to Atlanta. Then I got to be at the airport an hour and some change early. Then I got to fly. That's a 4.5 hour flight one way, about 3 hours back. Maybe we got faster wind. I don't know what's going on. At least 4 hours one way, 3 hours back. Then I got to go deal with it's a whole big process, me moving around and doing stuff. So I've been busy, but Uncle ABL is coming back because I'm tired of seeing LGBT men give relationship advice. I'm tired of seeing young guys listening to comedians that don't know anything like Fresh and Fit give them advice. I got to give you guys the proper uncle, dad advice that a lot of these young guys need, that I got when I was younger to help me out a lot. A lot of you guys don't have it. I'm here for that reason. All right. You know what? Can I say something right quick? So I was out with a young lady one time and she knew who I was. And she was like, you know what? You need to be the guy to replace Kevin Samuels. Came out of nowhere, completely shot me. I'm not trying to replace my friend Kevin, but we all come from the same type of world. You all came up together. So I got to go ahead and fill them shoes, because the guys we got out there right now are a bunch of idiots, man. And thank you guys for following the Rumble page. 607 right now. I love it. Uncle ABL is coming back. Rumble is up. Locals is next. All my platforms are available in the box. Website's there. Merch coming next as well. We got merch, but I gotta get more merch. All right, but shout out to you guys for being here. Really, really appreciate y'all. If you enjoyed the show tonight, give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I really, really appreciate y'all for that as well. All right, more super chats here. Let me see if I have more super chats, and then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Thank you to Ginger Romas for the dancing emoji donation. Thank you to S. Ford, who says, became an ABL supporter. And thank you to G. Nels for becoming an ABL supporter, part of the ABL squad. Thank you to Shantha Hennessy. Listen, I'm going to butcher your name, boss, and I apologize in advance. Please forgive me. But your name is Shantha Hennessana, who says, watch Dr. Stephen Greer battle for disclosure. Tell it all about drones. Amazon has it. Ours, not alien. Well, there we go. There we go. So some of you guys say, hey, that's not U.S. technology. Some of you guys say it is U.S. technology. So we're going to see. I want disclosure. Listen, I want them to disclose it. I'm never scared. I didn't see all types of things. Listen, if God came down right now and landed right on my Ford F-150 in the truck bed and said, hey, man, come on outside, I wouldn't even be scared. So let's get the disclosure. Now, normies, I don't know. Normies might be a little bit scared. They might not like some of this stuff, some of this crazy technology that we've not seen before. They might be a little scared. So maybe I understand it that way. Maybe I get it. But I still want them to tell us something other than, oh, we don't know what it is. Say this is a top secret operation to try and investigate. Say something rather than we don't know, because we know you're lying. We know you're lying. All right. But that'll be a wrap for me. I appreciate y'all. Great show as always. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.